don't understand that.
Maybe I will get this Chevy instead.
Hey, babe, in
I had it all picked out.
On the staff site, you don't. Okay, wait, it just went away. Do you know why there was letters highlighted in the banner? I don't understand that.
Yeah, in VMix.
What the hell?
Oh shit, sorry.
Maybe I will get this Chevy.
What the hell?
Chevy,
Why am I hearing
everything?
instead?
Why am I hearing everything again?
I feel like
babe,
that.
in the,
on the staff.
That was so weird.
Yeah. Several layers.
Right.
Yeah, Jimmy, when I highlighted the letters on VMix, it
passes the highlighting through. I don't want that. I'm going to throw that on my bug list to fix later.
Who's up jimmying their snow right now?
We have redirect for the last show, right? Sure hope so. Let's see if they're still going. Do. They're still going. Okay. And then, oh my God, you're using the oldest fucking photo of me on your stream.
I liked it. It was funny.
Hate it.
Yeah, you'll survive.
Big old pumpkin shirt.
Are you putting?
You will survive.
You also forgot the banner to direct people to come here.
The what?
Aren't you supposed to be doing the lower quality one over there to direct them to come to ours?
It's lower quality because it's just got my face.
I don't feel that encourages people to come to ours at all. You're like over there conniving. You're like, but what if this shared profit project? I could figure out.
Yeah,
how
but
to
when
disproportionately
when the conservatives see my black face, they go, "Oh, I want to call because we got a
a person who knits as a hobby.
He's a knitter."
All right, let's start this thing. You're live.
We already
in
did
3,
start
2.
this thing.
We're already live. Oof, that was a very unflattering way my shirt was being held under my boobs. Welcome everybody to Calling It Now. You can call it now if you want. We think God and MAGA are just ridiculous positions to hold. So silly to believe in God, so silly to be MAGA. So if you'd like to call in and debate us, you can do so at 336-543-2101, 336-543-2101. One more time, 336-543-2101. Welcome. We are, the show's begun. Jovan's left. He's got his own stream up. I'm sure he's like going to encourage people to, doesn't even turn off super chats over there. Doesn't even he's like, no, I'm only doing it to benefit the show, which I'm just going to leave right away without a word. And I'm going to try and collect super chats on my own. What a team. What a socialist is really, it's no longer Juneteenth. So now I can get all of the aggression out that I had. All of the, I'm being very, very oppressed as a white man aggression. I've got 336-543-2101, 336-543-2101. You can call in and debate with us. I see Jimmy's boobs taking off in the live chat. That's excellent. We are Jimmy's boobs.
Wait, we are Jimmy's boobs is low key funnier than we are.
Go
Jimmy's
turn
now.
off super chats on your channel. How
Do
dare
what?
you? You still have supers on your channel. It's
So?
not a low quality try and get everybody over to the partner thing at all.
It's just a co-stream.
This is a scam, guys. I've figured out that it's a scam. It's a scam. And on Juneteenth, he took all the revenue. He actually called YouTube, and YouTube took for all of the 19th, redirected
I opened
the
up
entire
YouTube specifically, yeah.
Yeah. Redirected the entire what's that called? AdSense for the 19th. And they asked, they were like, do you want us to should we just send it to you, or should we give it to black non-believers? And he's like, no, cut them out. Just to me. It was rude. It was very rude. Anyway, 336-543-2101, the phone number is there, and we're ready to chat and talk and debate with those of you who think you are ready to take us on. For those of you who think that you are rational in your belief in God and your belief in MAGA. Right now,
What
I
are we
got to tell
debating
you
about today?
What's that?
Oh, I guess you kind of just said it. Never mind.
Yeah, I mean, we can throw more stuff into the wind and see what they want to call in on. Right now, they're having such a hard time calling in because they figured out Donald Trump can't even keep a pool clean, let alone
Did you see they
America
arrested that
safe.
kid that was pulling out the paint chips?
Yeah, they're arresting people for it. Because I guess now people they're wanting paint chips as like a souvenir. They want to be a part of this moment. Kind of. Honestly, kind of. They want it as a souvenir. You can give to their grandchildren. You only ever heard about the paint chips. I was
born in
there.
the paint chip.
Molded by it.
The greatest thing that Harley Quinn animated show ever did was just like keep that voice for Bane.
Oh yeah.
Such a smart decision.
It still sounds like Tom Hardy's Bane.
Yeah.
I wish I had never heard Tom Hardy's real voice after that.
It's very high pitched.
And once you hear it after, you then start to hear it in Bane's voice, and you're like, I'm not Willie Scaled anymore. I'm not Willie. You're not
Make
Willie
me not
Scaled.
afraid of Bane.
I'm not Willie that afraid of Bane anymore. Especially when he does that, I'm very fragile. Could a ghost, what is it? What was his terrible joke in that movie? Could someone alive be a ghost? It was really bad. Really bad, but he's a good actor.
Built this house, Master White.
He's a good actor. I remember somebody was trying to like character assassinate him not too long ago and was like, because so-and-so, some old actress who was pretty famous, I'm pretty sure, hated working with him because he was so rude. And then the thing he turned out to be rude about was Palestine because she was like a Zionist piece of shit. And
was it Gal Gadot?
Like, no, like old lady.
Old lady Gal Gadot?
Yeah, old lady Gal Gadot. How old is she? Isn't she younger than I am? And I'm not old, right? Right?
Aren't you 65?
Who was
your retirement age, at least?
Older actress. Yeah, I'm about to start getting my Social Security right before it goes bankrupt. Who was, and by goes bankrupt, I mean bankrupted by Republicans.
Social Security. Could you believe?
Dude, the whole thing is just fucking insane. The whole thing. 336-543-2101. MAGA Christians, Muslims, transphobes, homophobes, people who think it's wrong to be gay, call. People who think it's wrong to be trans, call. People who think it's wrong to be atheist, call. People who think it's wrong to be humanist, call. People who think it's wrong to be leftist. I almost said liberal. Leftist, call. It is wrong to be liberal. You should be leftist instead. You can't just steal other leftist bits.
What's the bit?
That sound, I only ever see that sound on Hassan shorts.
That sound.
That's why
is
I
like,
won't stop and listen to a Hassan short.
That's one of the biggest meme sounds on the fucking internet. What are you talking about?
I feel like that.
Jimmy is not a man of culture.
That one is why I'll get like 4 seconds into a Hassan short and be like, all right, I'm finally going to hear Hassan say something. And it's just 17 zooms and 40 and I'm like, this is unbearable. I understand that you're making this shit for 15-year-olds, but make stuff for people who vote now.
I love that this is coming from the guy who did 6'7" for like 3 hours straight.
It's not true.
That's not true?
I did it for, it was for like 2 days. I 6'7"'d. It was fun. You know who's 6'7" more than me was Matt. That was weird.
Did he really?
Yeah. Matt was 6'7".
Yeah, but Matt is at the age where it's like it doubles back on being kind of funny and charming again.
I think Matt's older than you think he is.
Yeah, he's like 6'7" at least.
No, Matt's like 55.
Yeah, 6'7". I think 55 is too old to be saying 6'7".
Oh, see, 55. I'm old enough that 55 now is just like peers. My peers are anyone from like 30 to 60 or so. Then again, Matt is one of the few people from his generation even though he'll not like me saying this because it is ageist, but Jesus Christ, his fucking generation are just the fucking worst. Gen X, there's like 7 good ones. And if you're watching right now, you're one of them. You're one of the good ones.
Who's on After Dark tonight after us?
Well, it's usually Forrest and somebody. I don't know. Anyway,
didn't you say Forrest was dying after he got back from that whatever African country he visited?
He had a tummy bug, so I assumed that it was Ebola. He came back from Zimbabwe with a stomach bug, and I'm like, so are they quarantining you or what? I told him to stop drinking the lake water.
I gotta be so for real. I watched those videos of like the Indian street food, and I'm like, it looks fire.
It looks delicious.
It looks great.
I don't worry about the food in a lot of those places because they cook it on high heats and they put a lot of spices in and things that kill the stuff. It's the water you can't drink in a lot of those places.
You ever see those videos of like the water, like where they're doing the water with they're like cracking the ice, and I'm just like, I just
Pass.
It looks like dysentery.
Pass. I'm gonna pass on that one. But the thing that you've wrapped up in fancy flatbreads and covered in salsas, yeah, those look delicious.
I feel like, I don't eat a lot, but I feel like I would like butter chicken.
Oh, butter chicken. I've had butter chicken before. It's quite good. I just can't have it anymore.
Yeah, I feel like I like it.
Little non. Hey, Billy. Billy says, I tried to 6-7 at my nephew and he called me cooked and unk, but I don't think he meant unk like uncle, and I don't know what it means. I think it's meant to be like uncle, like
please,
unk
Jimmy,
in
tell me
that
what
scenario
unk
is supposed to be like, well, I know the original unk. I'm not talking about the one we stole from black people. That one was very pleasant. That one was nice. Now there's new unk, and new unk is like the uncle at Thanksgiving. Like, he's unk. Unk would be like referencing the guy who's like, and the South, even, if you ignore the slavery thing, they made some good points. The ones that are like trying to do apologetics for the South or Hitler. Like, well, Hitler did keep the trains going. That's probably the unk you just received. Am I wrong?
Okay. Yeah, no, that's most likely where it goes. Do I do a 2025 GMC Terrain?
Dude, we cannot do. You have ignored the last 2 things we've done together, show and Patreon thing, for
That's
other
not
shit
true.
you were doing. Yes, it is.
That's not true. No, it's not.
Yes,
That is not true. That is not true.
Yesterday we did the Patreon
Absolutely
thing,
not true.
and all became about a fantasy project that's never going to happen, and you buying a car.
Okay, you telling me the people at the Patreon thing last night didn't have fun?
They might have had fun, but all I know is most of the people subscribing and watching this show are looking for a call-in show, and we can't do a third day of you.
I'm here ready for a call. Ready for a call.
You could solicit some.
Day one is
especially since you're not doing a partner stream, but in fact a competing stream right now.
I'm not competing. The phone number is the same.
That's interesting. What's
who benefits? Who benefits if we get a call?
So you're not, both of us.
Do we not both benefit? Okay, exactly. And I'm here trying to get us more calls.
But the model on our end is split equally. Yours is. So when
Jimmy is upset that my stream with 10% of the viewers.
When are you sending over your portion of the soups there?
What, do you want a portion of the $20? You want a portion of the $20 I just got? Okay, Jimmy.
I think I do.
I will send you a portion of this $20
on it. With hashtag
I will send you white reparations.
If you're going to do a competing stream, at least solicit calls instead of shopping for a car.
I'm right here soliciting calls. It says MAGA Christians, capitalists are all wrong. Right?
336. Right? Oh, we're just calling the banner solicitation. Okay, officer. It's just a bumper sticker that said I like hoes. I wasn't trying to solicit a prostitute.
Yeah, no. When that shirt said "fuck ridiculous. The police," it was just a quote. Don't worry, it's just a quote.
It's a lyric. Calm down. I just watched the cops overreact to it. What was it? Oh, dude, have you seen that video of the guy going? There was a Confederate memorial going on.
Hey, say the phone number before you start this story.
336-543-2101. 336-543-2101. A guy went to a Confederate memorial there were people at a cemetery who were memorializing their Confederate ancestors, and this dude rolled up and was like, "Thank you for gathering. Why are we here today? To remember the lives of soldiers who tried to preserve slavery, who wanted to breed and rape black people." And he's just like going off, and they're pushing him out of there, and then the cops show up, and the cops are clearly on the Confederate side. Like, fucking Christ, the way you guys are just and then at the end, a dude comes up and punches him, even though he's moved to completely off of the property, and is just yelling it over at them. The fact that people will still throw a fist for a Confederate treasonous loser ass ancestor traitor is fucking crazy. I just want to know where the rascals, when you saw the audience, like, where is the rascal parking at? I'm
still fucking shook about that video of the cops. By the way, 336-543-2101. The video of the fucking cops shooting that kid. I'm still fucking stressed about that. Like, that video came up on my shit again, and it sucked. I will never understand the cops' boner for shooting at people that are running away.
Yeah.
Like,
I think somebody on your chat right now is trying to get us taken down. Channel reported. FCC contacted for channel. Okay, but Sora, why don't you call in, you anime pictured freak?
Please, God. By the way, Billy sent me a Venmo and said, don't give Jimmy a single cent of this.
I'm gonna kill you.
I can't tell what's better for the bit, to give you money for the Venmo or to not. One of those is better for the bit, and I haven't decided yet.
You know what would be hilarious is if you just change to a lower quality and send a link and then like turned off super chat so it would all come over here. That's what would really show me.
I do want to mention, it is lower quality. It literally says co-host audio Jimmy Snow. That's people hate that. That's lower quality. It's a higher quality. It has both of our...
you know, when people go to the channel Jovan Bradley, they're there to see me.
But so by
lowering the quality...
But I bet you if the screeners ask the question, which chat did you come from?
Oh, dang.
You got to think long term.
Billy just sent me a message. He said, "I'm not Venmoing you too, but I am instead going to open that church with you in Colorado."
I am going to say, and I want it to be known here. The reason why I asked Jimmy these questions, like about the cars and whatnot, is because he's one of my closest, if not my best friend at this point.
That's true.
And I respect and like value his opinion on it.
But then here's the funny thing that's happened is now we'll get on the phone and talk about things that arguably we should talk about on air, which you always point out. And then we get on air and talk about things that we should arguably talk about on the phone. We have gone topsy-turvy.
I also don't know how to turn off super chats.
By the way, the best thing that ever happened to you today was me complaining about super chats on your channel. You're welcome.
I actually don't.
The down payment.
Don't know how to turn. Can you turn them off after the show's already started?
I don't know. Down payment on your new car brought to you by my bitching.
But do you like that car? GMC
the Pathfinder
Terrain? The Pathfinder's. I didn't realize how many miles was on it. The GMC Terrain only has 27K. Yeah, the Pathfinder is almost. I like the Pathfinder, and it's bigger, like I wanted, but I'm not paying that much.
Put the links in chat. Hey, MAGA, you can't debate. We know you can't, and because you won't. The fact of the matter is, MAGA is dead. What was the old hashtag? MAGA is over party. You know what I'm saying?
I'm going to put this link to you, but don't put it in chat because I realized the VIN number is on it. When you go to like buy the car, it tells you the VIN. And I just out of sheer worry that someone is going to get the VIN number to my car before I even get the car.
And they're going to go buy it?
No, just that they'll have my car's VIN number. I don't know what you can do with that. But
not really much of anything. I mean, if somebody came across the car, they could go with a flashlight up to your windshield.
Wait, chat. Is that Riku's redacted ass that's saying that in the chat?
Oh, is that who Sora is?
Yeah, I think it's Riku's redacted ass. Yeah, you heard me say it.
Wait.
You heard me say it, Riku. I don't give a fuck.
So this person is saying they are reporting us for terrorism, but then also threatened to hit us with a car?
Yeah. They're also the one that said that we stole from RFR because they clearly don't know how fundraisers on YouTube work.
Yeah, I'd love to hear that detailed out. Like, just tell me how that works. I would love to know how I could have stolen from RFR, because maybe in the future I'll want to. All right. You see the calls in chat? Either of those interest you so far? One of them
take a look.
Going to be an argument from authority, essentially, and the other is going to be...
I don't understand the first part of the first one.
Some stuff the left in America has gotten wrong about the war. Like
okay. I get it now. I mean, both of them seem to be. I mean, I would take it.
Luthien, I think you need to refresh the chat window and make sure that that button is running, because I haven't gotten a new chat on the other thing since I was a child. When I was 17, I'm gonna scrape Jovan's chat and put that in the background too.
When I was 17, what was that?
That's from that's just a Frank Sinatra song, right? It was a very good year.
Going on 17. That song is kind of predatory.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. All right, 336-543-2101. We want to debate with people who are actually here and ready for a real debate, but I suppose in the meantime, why are our... Dearest, did you actually turn on the extension for Call-In Studio? Did you make sure that the Call-In Studio was scraping?
I did. It's working for me.
It says extension online up at the top?
No, it says extension offline.
All right, I gotta come take a look. I'll be right back. You can keep talking about your car or some shit.
I'll guys, send super chats, send me no, I'm just kidding. I'll keep the chat entertained. Hey, you guys want to know why I dislike Trump? Because he's literally like worse at every metric comparatively than our last administration. And I hated Biden, so that should tell you something, right? If he's worse than the guy who literally was the crypt keeper, what does that tell you? When's the right going to stop calling Michelle Obama man? When we defeat racism, so probably never. I would love one person, if you support Trump, tell me one metric in which he's done better than Biden. Economically, he hasn't. Financially, he hasn't. Fiscally, he hasn't. Those are the same thing, but definitely hasn't socially. Even immigration-wise, he hasn't. Can you find one metric that he's done better at Biden than? Maybe you could argue like military strength, just simply because like under the BBB, we're increasing the money of our military, but I would argue that's not a good thing.
It's also been terribly inefficient. So if you want to talk about strength to dollars spent, fucking insane how inefficient we've been with this money. But because all he cares about is
video of fucking Hegseth like working out.
No, he does a lot of them though. So maybe how long?
It's so funny. It's so fucking funny.
The number of people who are like, dude, almost everything Hegseth does needs to go on like r/I am very badass. All right, I guess we try out this call from Anton.
Very badass.
I'm very badass, guys. Do you go there?
You're talking to a future U.S. Army. What is that? So you remember that Vine?
I'll have you know, you're talking to a future soldier, American soldier. Yeah, that kid.
To a future U.S. American soldier.
Has anybody followed up with that kid? Is he okay? Definitely.
I want to know if he really is a future U.S. American Army military soldier.
Yeah, did he actually join? Let's find out. But in the meantime, we'll talk to...
I always thought, wait, real quick before we take Anton. I've actually always thought that was a fucking brilliant idea, is like a Vine Where Are They Now series, like an investigative reporting one.
It was called Web Redemptions, and it was on Tosh.0.
Oh. Yeah. I didn't watch Tosh.0. I had a life.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's bring up Anton.
Whose idea was that? Anton in Turkey, you're on the line with Jimmy and Jovan. What's up, Anton?
Hello. Can you hear me? Hello.
Yes.
Okay. Hi. Hi, and nice to meet you. And because I mean, part of my English, by the way, and I'm Iranian. I live in Turkey, but I'm Iranian origin. I was born and grew up there. So I was gonna talk about the war and the way that American leftists and liberals view the war in Iran and their view on Muslims. I'm an ex-Muslim.
Okay, so you're not going to be able to just
and
rant about it. If you have a specific point you want to discuss with us and a point of disagreement with not broadly leftists and liberals, but you want to present one that we have that you disagree with, we can have a back and forth. But we're not.
Sure.
We're not an open mic.
Yeah, okay, of course, sure. So I want to narrow it down actually. So I seen that after the Trump killed Khamenei, like Iran's leader, so many people supported and said that like depicted him as like such a great person, like
no, they didn't.
Like he died.
If you're talking about in America, not a single person who has any actual political influence or power pretended that Khamenei was some great humanitarian, wonderful person. This is a fake Fox News made up point. I now doubt that you actually have paid any fucking attention to this, because nobody, not with him, not with Maduro, never were people's opposition like Khamenei was such a good guy.
Yeah,
and I just told you, you don't get an open mic. It has to be a problem with something we've said, and you just decided to go on with somebody who I just made up said Khamenei was this great guy. No, they didn't.
Okay, can I say why I say that? Because, I'm a Pahlavi supporter, and have you seen
unless you can point to where I or Jovan said it, you can't continue on this topic because it's bullshit.
Oh, no.
We're specifically looking for people who Yeah, but that's the thing, Antoine. We're looking for people that disagree with us. Otherwise, it's not a debate show. Okay. It's like a gab show, and Jimmy doesn't want us to gab today. But
you know what? I'll give you 2% of gab. You go ahead and you tell me the one leftist or liberal who has significant political influence or power that spoke positively about Khamenei. Somebody I would consider an ally. Go ahead.
Would you consider it positive if they're saying that Khamenei is better than his son?
Better than his son? I mean, I think, as in right now, I'm almost sure that he's dead.
That was more towards Jimmy, TBH.
Faking.
Wait, you think you're almost sure that his son is dead? Is that what you just said?
I'm 99.99% that he's dead.
So first things first, it's crazy that you heard a question from Jovan and said, instead of answering that question, what if I also introduce that I'm a fucking crazy conspiracy theorist?
Wait, Jimmy, hold on. A question for you, Jimmy.
It's not a conspiracy theory.
Is ice cream sweet?
Can I ask?
Yeah, for sure. Well, but, I mean, it's ice cream with sugar in it.
Okay, so
I was hoping you would do a bit and then talk about a conspiracy after I asked you a question. Never mind.
It's
fine. You didn't yes and. It's okay.
My bad.
I get it.
Well, I did yes and. I literally did. I said yes.
Okay.
But okay, so Anton, now the question for you is, name the leftist or liberal who spoke positively about Khamenei. Since the answer to Jovan's question, do you consider Khamenei is better than his... Oh my God, was that the end of my sentence?
No, I'm so sorry. Because, okay, sorry.
No, you're not. And you're going to do it again, I know it. So, name the leftist or liberal that I would consider an ally who spoke positively of Khamenei.
As far as I remember, I saw some... I mean, I don't know any person by name, of course. And when I say the title of the video, that like the title what it is, I didn't know that exactly I should talk about what you think, because this is the first time I'm watching your show, you two, I mean, I'm familiar with Matt Dillahunty. So
you just go around YouTube and you're like, I'm just looking for phone numbers to call and free mic on it.
I'm familiar with Matt Dillahunty. Is crazy.
Matt Dillahunty's my boss, so this will be fine.
Yeah. Actually, he was one of the people that helped me make sure that agnosticism and atheism is the best one. So anyway, but I don't want to yap about
Anton,
that.
Anton, are you Muslim?
No, I'm an ex-Muslim, and thanks to him,
God damn
sure
it.
that
I don't think you have a single interesting thing to say to me. Then, what is the name of one of the?
I'm not a Muslim.
Name a famous leftist who said Khamenei was a great guy.
All right. Okay. Okay, back to the topic. And by the way, please consider that I'm very excited, and I am, and English is not my first language. So, New York Times posted something about that, and I don't know.
Famous leftist paper, New York Times.
That's
and also no, they didn't.
Okay, so I don't know any person. I mean, I'm pretty.
Dude, you don't have a disagreement with me or Jimmy, my guy. You're not. Like, unless you have something specific that we said that we disagreed with.
So,
give me the title of the New York Times article.
Wait 1 second. Can I explain 1 second why I thought that leftist is like this? Is it okay if I explain?
If you think that you what? Explain what?
Can I explain why my stance was that leftists got it wrong?
Well, you haven't been able to point us to a single leftist with the position that you stated they had. So as soon as you give me one of those, yes. Give me one leftist, because I just tried to look it up. There is no New York Times article that spoke positively of Kamani.
All right, sure. Okay. So my reason is that, so when Iranians went...
I'm sorry, what did I say you had to do before you presented your reason? I just told you have to do something before you present your reason.
Okay, you said I should name, right? And I said I don't have any names.
Okay, so what you want us to do now is to listen to your reason why somebody, but you can't name a single example of that somebody, got this wrong, and then you would like us to argue against you on behalf of the point of, again, somebody who you can't name and don't actually know anybody holds this position. How do I know, Anton, that whatever you saw wasn't literally an Iranian robot pretending to be American on Twitter?
Okay, it's not. Okay, if
how do you? No, wait. It's not what. It's not. No. Finish that sentence. It's not what. It's not what. An Iranian robot? Prove it. By naming who the source was.
I didn't even get I'm going to say what I'm going to say.
If the reason why, Anton, no. If the reason is not because these people said it, then I don't care about your reason, because it's
right.
Hell, if your reason for the left believes something is not because I heard the left say it, then I can't take you seriously.
Literally, it's like, hey, Jovan, can I just tell you the reason that I think it's wrong, that I think biologists got wrong, that monkeys, that chimpanzees can give birth to Homo sapiens? Can I tell you the reason why I think they got it wrong? I can't name a single biologist who said a chimpanzee can give birth to a Homo sapien, but someone did, and can I tell you the reason why I think they got it wrong?
Yeah, of course.
Probably the Jews. Because I kind of think that's, Anton, is that where your thing's going to go? Because I feel like that's got to be where it's going to go.
All right, so if you let me talk, I will tell you, and you're just making up something that I'm not going to say, and I'm not saying. But
okay, Anton,
if you let me
you go ahead and tell us the reason why people... You go ahead and tell us the reason why... Anton, you go ahead and tell us the reason why people you can't name, but you think represents the left, despite the fact... I'm not done. I'm not done. You go ahead and you give the reason. You go ahead and give the reason why people you can't name that you think represent the left got it wrong. And then you will afterwards, when you say that position, I will ask, great, who had that reasoning? And you will say, I don't know, not a single one. Go ahead.
All right. Not 1%, but I'm going to say why I got this idea. Maybe I'm wrong. I am probably wrong, as you say. But can I just keep saying, not 1%? Okay, I just answered you many times. Not one person said it. It didn't get it from, like, for example, Kamala Harris say it, for example. I'm just saying. Right? I am not. So Iranians went to protest in the U.S., and people stopped us so many times, and they just keep saying, no, you guys are wrong. This is not. This happens so much. And that's why I thought maybe this is what leftists usually feel like, because they hate Israel and American rights so much that they think anything that is opposed to that's kind of aligned with their idea is wrong. But
since you're doing such a shitty job of it, I will go ahead and represent your position for you. Anton believes the reason why the left spoke positively about Khamenei is that the left hates America and Israel so much that all they did was go, well, Khamenei is against America and Israel, so they spoke positively because whatever they consider whatever is against America and Israel a good thing, and whatever isn't a bad thing. So Khamenei against, therefore good. Great. That is 100% what you just told us, Anton. So now my question for you, please name for us the leftist who embraced Khamenei as a good thing using the reasoning you just said.
Not a single name.
Right. So you don't have an example. You just want to come on and say, all right. Leftists hate Israel and leftists hate America, and they just choose who they like on that basis, but you can't give an actual example.
Okay, I'm going to give it. So right now I remember because there are so many names. I forgot Hassan Piker's uncle's name. It was like Cenk Uygur. Do you know him?
Mm-hmm. You want me to text him?
These two people, they go on shows and they just fight with Iranian journalists and fight with Iranian people, and they just keep saying that you're wrong. No, this is not actually true.
Wait. You're supposed to be giving me an example of somebody who spoke positively of Khamenei. Not of somebody that goes, not on somebody who goes on air and tells, and by the way, he's barely a leftist. He's been making such right-wing positions. And not only are you wrong, not only are you wrong broadly, Cenk did absolutely not speak positively about Khamenei. In fact, was constantly a critic of him.
He's against Pahlavi, and he is more pro-Muslims. And speaking of Muslim, I mean like IRGC, and he thinks that
he pretty much just thinks killing civilians thinks killing civilians to keep billionaires is bullshit.
Why are we arguing why are we arguing fake stuff? This is like this is fake, homie.
Why you want me to defend a position you're insisting Cenk has that he doesn't have, and I don't even respect Cenk.
Me neither. So you said one name.
I don't respect him, but I'm not going to lie about him like you are lying about him right now.
I'm not lying. I'm not lying.
Yes, you are.
Okay, so all right, I can. I forgot that British guy. Piers Morgan. He was on Piers Morgan. He was literally fighting with Goldie. And Goldie is an Iranian journalist. And then there's another Iranian journalist there. I don't know her name. But there are two Iranian very famous journalists there. And he was fighting on... they fought many times, actually, on Piers Morgan's show with Iranians. And when you say, no, he did not, he did. I mean, the reason that I'm talking about this, and I'm kind of mad at him, I'm mad at him because I watched him fighting with us.
You're so full of shit. You are taking...
I'm not full of shit. You're full of shit. Okay,
I already
I'm so sorry.
know.
You're being ridiculous.
What is happening?
I'm tired of listening to this guy. So just so everybody knows, the reason why he isn't presenting what was actually said is because this guy knows I muted and he dropped himself. As soon as I muted him, he was like, well, then I'm not going to wait to come back on. The reason why he's not actually telling you what Cenk said is because it will undermine his point. Cenk has criticized Khamenei a lot, and the only thing he said was that the only thing you can give to him is that it took courage to not kneel to Israel, because Israel has basically been threatening the very existence of Iran in similar terms to the way that Trump has for a long time. He died on his own 2 feet instead of bowing to and kneeling to Israel. That took courage. He didn't bow. He literally, in the same tweet that the guy is saying he was praising him, the tweet begins with talking about how he constantly oppressed his own people and prevented democracy from happening in Iran. So the reason why he just wants to, this guy who just called in, Anton, only wants to speak in the broadest terms possible, is it's kind of like saying, it's kind of like saying to bring up anything that is true about a person. If that thing is positive, that would mean you're saying the entire thing about that person is positive. And that's ridiculously stupid. It's ridiculously dumb. I don't give a shit about Cenk. I don't care to defend Cenk, but to act like Cenk was this person who, one, represents me, and therefore I need to defend him, and two, represents a broader leftist coalition, and three, said that we were writing, the left was rewriting Khamenei as a great person and leader, when again, in fact, Cenk had been saying that this guy was the reason why democracy didn't come. Definitely talked about his murderous actions toward protesters and all of that shit. But they go and they find not the whole tweet. Again, if you read the whole tweet, it fucking undermines his point. One word from the broader tweet to go. And this he loved him. He didn't love him. He thought he was the best. It's fucking idiotic. What a stupid, stupid man.
That was useless.
I would have rather debated a person who thinks Cenk is their hero on why Cenk is a sellout than I would have that guy who wants to lie about somebody.
Yeah. Real dumb. Anyway.
This can't be the old. There's no way, right? Let's find out. Where's my correct one? Here it is. CJ in Ohio, you are on the line with Jimmy and Jovan. CJ, how are you?
What is up? Please tell me that last guy was a paid actor and not a real human.
No, but careful. Whenever you start the thing like that, you're setting the bar very high. And what if the next person says the same thing about you?
Wait, can we back up and lower the bar, actually?
To below the last guy? Sure, don't shit on yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
So CJ, you're calling in as a theist to tell us it's more rational to believe that there is a creator God than not.
Yes, yeah, that's my position.
And are you a deist?
Yeah, yep, I'm specifically
Are you a Christian
an
or
Christian.
You're an Orthodox Christian, so you're not a deist, you're a theist.
Yeah.
This is what I find to be very incredible. When a person is using deistic proposition, when they hold a theistic extreme, and they don't recognize that the distance between atheism and deism is like crossing a road versus deism to Christianity, which is like traversing the fucking, what's that, Everest, and then walking all the way to the bottom of the Marianas Trench. The distances between the two are so extreme. So at the end of the day, CJ, you're going to call in with the transcendental argument. You're going to find out whether or not we know the counter cards to play, whether or not we've Philbroed and we're ready with the counter, because that's how the deist philosophy conversations go. You play yours, I play my trap card, you play a speed spell, and we see who has the last card before the person has the last memorized response. And at the end of the day, I'm fine with just going, you know what? I don't care. Let's skip deism. We'll just grant you deism. Some God exists somewhere. Why would you think that God cares about us and is the Christian God? So do you want to stick to the transcendental argument, or do you want to actually defend that if we accept some God somewhere exists somewhere, undetectable but responsible for the existence of the universe, and that God is also the Christian God?
Yeah, so it would be, if we answer that second question, and I'm okay doing either, if we switch lanes from an epistemological question, like the transcendental argument, which I think is important, because if we can't establish some sort of epistemological common ground, it's going to be very difficult for us to agree on what truth even is, and if things can be determinable.
Okay, so we're doing the Phil Bro card play. Got it. Go ahead. You go ahead and start your argument. Let's begin with your syllogism.
We could do the second one if you want.
No, sir. Now we can't. We can't. The well has been poisoned, and you've basically said, now if I lose, I'll fall back on that this doesn't matter because we aren't epistemologically matched. So your response actually excluded our ability to skip that. So go ahead, give us your syllogism, and I'll get my trap cards and my synchro summons ready.
Well, so I would take the
Jovan's got Exodia. What's your syllogism?
I would take the position that based off of, and really it would be originally proposed by Kant, right? But that we have, because of the nature of human existence, we have a priori laws and systems that we exist under.
Okay, great. Can we do a syllogism, please? This would be the third request. Since we're doing Phil Bro, since we're playing our cards, since we got our decks, the rubber bands are off, mine are in top loaders, you're just plain raw dogging rubber bands straight to the card, can't believe it. Go ahead, please, with the syllogism, since we're doing this.
So my major premise would be that it's more rational to believe in a God than not.
Okay, premise one, it's more rational to believe in a God than not. Weird that that's premise one, because that usually would be the conclusion.
Yeah, so my
What's premise
minor
two?
My minor premise would be that it is humans are subject to that rational reality.
Therefore,
my conclusion would be that it's more rational not to believe that there is a God. Humans should submit to that rational reality, and therefore that God is knowable.
Okay. I reject the first premise.
So much.
You reject the major premise or the minor premise?
It's more rational to believe in a God than not, because that was also what you were calling in to defend, and you made it your first premise rather than your conclusion. So would you like to now try again with it is more rational to believe in a God than not as your conclusion that leads to it is more rational to believe in a God than not?
No, I'm intentionally switching it up so that we can have a conversation instead of just doing the back and forth.
I told you not to switch it up when we would move back earlier. So right now you're literally wanting us. We can't switch it up because literally you are going. Your premise one is something that is literally an active philosophical dispute. So are you just asking me to give that to you? Because of course I don't. I'm an atheist. I'm not just going to give you. It's more rational to believe in a God than not. So either you need to back up and now make your premise one your conclusion, or we are simply stuck in the impasse of no, I reject that premise one would require demonstration, and I reject it until it has it.
Okay. I'll just do the real, the actual Phil Bro syllogism for transcendentalism. You could do if particular a priori conditions of intelligence exist, then God exists, is my major premise.
If particular a priori conditions of what? I'm taking notes.
Or intelligibility exist, then God exists.
Okay, so you are once again giving a premise that needs to be its conclusion, that's not a premise one.
Premise that Kant gives.
I don't care what the Kant gave. I care about.
Do you understand what it means?
I don't think so at all. You've now given a premise one that you already know right off of the bat an atheist will reject.
But that, okay.
So we're never going to get past premise one.
let me try. I'll do the modus tollens argument. The major premise then would be God does not exist.
How about this? If particular a priori, no. Before you move on, if particular a priori conditions of intelligibility exist, then God exists. Demonstrate the premise. Prove that premise is true.
It would be like a logical argument from morality or uniformity in nature or irreducible complex.
Are you asking me which one you should make? Because I don't think you're going to make any of them good. So go with whichever one you think is the strongest.
Well, those are all demonstrating the premise. So the idea of
brother,
do you want this one, Jovan? I'm about to play Pot of Greed, which allows me to draw 9 cards.
I played Pot of Greed. Homie, we don't agree with your presupposition.
That's not the presupposition. That's the premise.
Yes, it is.
So for me to say,
no, your premise is a presuppositional argument. Your premise is presuppositional.
Imagine we reverse this, and we just go, okay, here's my argument for why God doesn't exist. Premise 1. God doesn't exist. Premise 2, you're a dum-dum if you believe God does exist. Premise 3, therefore, if you believe God does exist, you're a dum-dum, I'm right, you're wrong. That is a very parallel example to what you're giving. And you wouldn't be able to get past premise 1 because you would have to grant God doesn't exist.
I can give you the full...
Your literal premise 1, like, look, this is the problem with Phil Browing, because people are listening and they're like, what the fuck does he mean if a priori conditions? It breaks down to if there are certain things must be in place for reason, logic, and knowledge to be possible at all, then the existence of those features has to point to some type of God as their ultimate ground. That's presuppositional. There's nothing. Everything about that is presuppositional.
The minor premise to that is that those preconditions exist, which means the conclusion is that God exists.
You have to ground. Wait, that's. You have to prove to us that those. Wait. If you want me prove to us. Hold on. Prove to us that if reason, logic, and knowledge, right? If there are certain conditions that put these in place, right? Prove to us that God has to be the ultimate ground to that. Substantiate that.
Yeah. So, and then I would appeal to epistemology and say that without an idea of an objective truth that flows from something, nothing is knowable. So I would say, for example,
today's episode is brought to you by Circular Reasoning.
Oh my God. This is what I talk about with Phil Bros, man. Like, homie, none of what you're saying shows an understanding of the concepts you're trying to talk about. And it's very frustrating to sit on the opposite end. Okay,
so then let's talk about morality. That would be something that demonstrates my major premise. I would say how do you know that something is bad or evil?
You don't.
So you don't think there's such
in your use of the term evil? No, we know nothing. Because you're trying to lock it down to some knowable objective foundation, and truly now you're going to start running in to the problems of even knowing we exist. Every single time these Phil Bros break down.
My worldview, though, it is. So that's what I'm demonstrating. Is that,
and you have to demonstrate that your worldview is true. It's not a problem from my magical worldview. Great. I also have a magical worldview, and it requires you to submit yourself to me and serve me for the rest of your days. And all you have to do is accept it. And then all of these other problems, including problems that have been left unanswered within biblical Christianity, those have magical answers. Therefore, because there is an answer that's better than no answer and stronger than no answer, therefore you should accept mine.
Well, then humor me and engage with those arguments that are so obvious.
No, because I have to grant you things that you don't deserve.
You have to first ground all of these presuppositions in something.
Yeah, so I'm grounding them in the fact that, I mean, I don't understand. Maybe we're talking past each other. I feel like I don't understand
each other? Past each other?
Brother.
We're at least on the same fucking racetrack trying to race the same one, and you keep asking the referee why you're not allowed to get on a bike and skip the first 6 laps. Talking past each other? Are you shitting me? Did you poop my pants? Fucking Christ.
So, and this is the issue that becomes, you're not, so I have, at this point I've attempted to ground transcendentalism in both Kantian and presuppositional epistemology.
Every time you say Kant for the remainder of the call, you owe us $10.
And the issue
because
is
you can't understand the problem with your Philbro bullshit.
Can I finish this sentence?
Here, wait. Let me just. I just want to ask you a question, and I want an answer that does not have, that does not lead to you going, well, let me point you to this person. I want to hear you answer the question in your own words. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it the case that if intelligibility has preconditions, okay, that only God could supply those preconditions?
Because intelligence begets intelligence. So I would argue that
what do you base that on?
Order isn't derived from chaos, and I would also argue that
wow, we're really going to Jeff Feuerstein level apologetics now.
Wait,
I just want to wait. I feel like how do you figure?
If I went too far, that's okay. We can stick with.
No, it's not that you went too far. You just said another thing that you have to now ground, which is that intelligence begets intelligence. What are you basing that on?
Then let's just back up, because you said. So I did go too. No. I'm saying I expanded too far on your original question, and so the answer I would give to your original question, that's just short, one sentence in my own words, is that order is not derived from chaos. And I would demonstrate that
again,
in human morality, in knowledge, in nature.
Yeah, so this is what people who are anti-evolution love to bring up all the time. And generally what they end up demonstrating, the more they explain, is they don't actually understand the difference between order and chaos. So they think something like a thermal explosion is chaos, when kind of like earlier, I'm trying to remember what it was. He used the word no, and it's like, no, in the sense that you are using the word no, you're wrong. Also in the sense that you're using the word chaos, the things that you would list as examples of chaos wouldn't actually truly be chaotic relative to like explaining with physics and stuff. They may be complicated and difficult, but they aren't actual true chaos. And so far there's been no violations of laws of thermodynamics that we can point to. And so it's generally a terrible understanding of thermodynamics where people go, chaos cannot create order. Are you also a creationist? You don't accept evolution as true on this basis?
I would actually probably put myself in a theistic evolution camp. I don't have an issue.
No, there's no such thing. There is no such thing as theistic evolution. Saying God guided evolution means you don't believe in evolution, because evolution has a mechanism and basically says this is what guides or drives evolution. This is how selection happens, and we have no examples of that being broken or requiring divine intervention. So there is no such thing as theistic evolution. If you add the hand of God, it fails to be evolution, which occurs at a 100% purely natural level. So if you want to use that term to basically mean, no, I actually am a creationist, just of a different ilk, go and borrow the term creationism to describe yourself, not evolution.
That's fair. I'm cool with that, but I'll accept the creationist title. And just to clarify your earlier point you made about systems of chaos, how old is the Earth? That's a really interesting question. Definitely not 6,000 years, if that's where you're going.
So how old is it?
I would take the position that we probably don't know for sure, and that's okay.
So you take umbrage with the 4.5 billion year estimate, and you believe that estimate is poorly made?
I don't know. I would say it's very ancient and very old, older than we can probably comprehend.
But 4.5 billion years doesn't do it for you?
Oh, I don't know. I don't mind. I don't have a super strong opinion on the age of the Earth. I think it's a red herring as far as conversations go. I think it's,
no, I wanted to get even more of a vibe of you. It actually isn't a red herring. It's sort of very similar to what they're doing with these political things where people are like, yeah, I'm a political guy. I'm here. I'm no nonsense. And they're like, did Donald Trump lose the election, to see whether or not people are going to generally engage honestly. And so when asking a person who just tried to use evolution as a descriptor of themselves when they were actually describing a type of creationism, to then follow up with how old is the earth to find out what ilk of Christian we are dealing with, I find terribly relevant.
I think maybe it's a good way to weed out Christians who don't have a clue as to what's going on, but I don't think.
Well, we still have you on the phone.
That's true. That's fair. I don't have a ton going on upstairs, obviously, but I think
you are Christian though, right?
Yeah.
Do you think a giant flood wiped out everybody on the earth except for 8 people?
Well, and now we're going down. And I can defend Christian positions.
Well, yeah, because I'm so sick of the precepts. I'm so sick of arguing the precepts.
Yeah,
they're just boring.
Other Phil bros would have hated your performance today. So we're tired of the Phil bro. Let's hear it for Christianity.
It feels like you're running from the epistemology question because you don't.
Sir, you wouldn't. No, you refuse to ground a single first premise.
Oh my God.
In something that we could agree with. You literally kept using unjustified first premises.
Don't come from systems of chaos.
Prove that. Prove that.
I already described to you. Yeah, right. I already described to you why I don't accept your assertion of those things, or that systems of orders ever were subject to chaos. Because what you're describing as chaos isn't what science and physics accepts as chaos. I think you know less about chaos than you know about Kant. I would
Kant. Say that systems of chaos are.
Can you just substantiate that systems of order cannot come from systems of chaos?
I already can reject it because he just tried to define it. He believes that systems of chaos are undeterministic. Great. I don't believe anything's undeterministic, I reject your premise.
I didn't get to finish. I said it's undeterministic and unpredictable.
Great. I don't believe anything undeterministic or anything unpredictable exists. So I reject your premise.
So then you reject all system theory. Because that's...
No, I reject your understanding of system theory. There has never been system theory that has established that a deterministic universe is incompatible. Even quantum theorists who talk about the things that appear to be actually unpredictable, chaotic, and random describe it as also potentially just the appearance of those things with a greater understanding possibly being out of reach.
Yeah, chaos is undeterministic.
You love buzzwords.
Unpredictability.
You love buzzwords. Humans being able to
repeating.
Humans being unable to predict does not make it unpredictable.
No, but I'm just reading the definition right now. So, chaos, which is deterministic unpredictability.
Wait, from what?
Is the system...
From what are you reading the definition?
It is the overview of chaos theory in...
from?
That just popped up on Google. I can pull up a specific source if you want, but I didn't...
Okay, I got it. So you were so prepared for this argument that when we finally got to what you think would be your core source of philosophical grounding, where at least your first premise would be something we wouldn't reject, your AI overview on Google was what you brought to the yard. This time I played Jar of Greed, which actually allows me to summon Exodian.
And so I just Googled the definition so that we could be on the same page.
You think a colloquial Google AI overview broad definition of chaos would be the one I was referencing? It's not even the one you were referencing.
It is. That's what I'm trying to... It literally... Okay.
Great. I believe in a determinate... I believe the universe is most likely deterministic. So it doesn't... anytime you're going to invoke determinism or undeterminism, I will be rejecting your position.
Okay, so you don't understand systems of chaos then, because systems of chaos
My guy, you just used the AI Google overview to define chaos for you when you failed. Let's not throw out, okay, so you don't understand.
Okay, so then let's just agree to agree then that the official
I think we just agree that we've now demonstrated for like a 9th time why trying to Philbro with you is dumb. So let's now hear your justification for accepting Christianity, as Jovan tried to move on to. And ask you whether or not you believe a flood.
What was his AI overview definition of chaos again?
It's deterministic unpredictability, which is what
prove that exists.
In what way?
In any way, in any substantial way.
In what way? So I'm going to say it by saying, so you don't understand chaos theory.
So you want me to ground system theory? Now,
you don't know system theory. In fact, I just found an article on chaos theory from Science Direct, which literally describes in the is that the abstract or the summary, that chaos theory is in fact the study of systems that follow precise deterministic rules but still behave in ways that look random and are extreme. Excuse me, I wasn't done talking. Excuse me, I wasn't done talking. That look random and are extremely hard to predict because tiny changes in starting conditions blow up in huge differences over time. Literally, contrary to your AI overview, describes them not as impossible or undeterministic, but in fact deterministic and merely difficult, perhaps so difficult that humans will never accomplish it, but not actually truly unpredictable. Fucking crazy. So do you want to defend Noah yet? Because you are fucking bad at this.
The phrase I've been using is deterministic unpredictability. Which is what you
actually
just described.
Used the phrase undeterministic not very long ago, or non-deterministic. So I guess we're just resorting to lying now. Because if we're resorting to lying, I can lie amongst the best of them.
I've said deterministic unpredictability. If I said undeterministic unpredictability, then I misspoke. But
non-deterministic
unpredictability.
Yeah, I suspect you didn't misspeak. I think you are saying, because I literally said earlier that I believe the universe is deterministic, and you said,
and at that
therefore
point,
you don't understand system theory.
Probability. Or deterministic unpredictability.
CJ, can I just thank you that, I mean, clearly you've recognized that forming sentences are too difficult for me to do alone, which is why you've been helping by speaking at the same time as me so many times.
I think you're interrupting me, big dog. I think that's what's going on.
It would be very interesting should we now rewind the tape, because you've done it multiple times where I'm actively in a sentence explaining something and you are speaking over me and continue speaking even though I don't stop just because you've started.
Yeah, and so what's happening is you're jumping in when I'm talking and I'm stopping.
CJ,
and you'll start to say,
CJ, the example I was literally just doing it on.
I'm in the middle of a sentence and you start talking.
Yes, I don't respect
I was in the middle of a sentence and you start talking.
Great. I've muted him now because now he's trying to explain that I've interrupted him as he's lying about what I'm saying. And by the way, for that kind of shit, definitely we're going to interrupt people who are not staying on. You're not the host here. The fact of the matter is you're now trying to say you're not doing it. I'm doing it to you. The example I had just given it on, I began a sentence. Halfway through the sentence, you latched onto a word and began speaking even though I wasn't done. Merely rewind the tape, CJ. I'm going to unmute you. Would you like to get off of your very bad Philbro high horse and try and defend biblical Christianity? Or are we simply done because you are unbearable to talk to, and this is the why you're having that problem dating? So here I am unmuting you. Which one are we doing? Oh, you didn't. You were talking while you were muted and I was talking. Holy shit. You literally are so not self-aware about how much you talk over, that even though I told you you were muted, you kept speaking, and then when I unmuted you, you were in the process of talking over me. That's fucking crazy. Holy
Can I go?
shit. What'd you say?
Am I okay to talk now?
No, not yet. Hang on, I'll tell you when.
I can't tell if you're being sarcastic.
No,
or not.
wait, hang on. I'll tell you when.
I
said I'll tell you when. I'll tell you when. Okay, now.
Okay. I think what's happening right now is you're filibustering rather than presenting how you can ground anything.
So are we going to Christianity or not?
So if you have a counter argument for...
Nope, I don't have to counter a terrible non-grounded argument.
I'm grounding that argument.
In premises that we cannot grant.
Okay, so then present another premise or explain to me why the premise is wrong.
I'm good. I already have, so I'm good.
And that's what I'm saying. So I think you haven't demonstrated that, and you're doing a really clever runaround where
there's no way, there's no shots. There's no shot, dude. There's no shot that you haven't grounded because there's no way you haven't grounded a single thing and are going to tell us that we instead need to ground our disagreements when you haven't grounded anything you've said so far.
That's crazy.
There's no way.
This is crazy. This is actually bananas. The amount of like sniff one's own fart and just eat it up is fucking crazy here.
So
can you ground that chaos even exists?
I would say the non-negotiable would be, which is, so if we're gonna do that true grounding thing, what I'm saying is the necessary metaphysical requirement, which is why, right, is I'm going to go with objective morality.
Okay, I reject that objective morality exists. Are you waiting for permission again to go? Apparently he's waiting for permission again, so please keep... No, wait. Since you're waiting for permission, please wait. I'll tell you again when you're ready. What were you going to say, Jovan?
Yeah, I just want to know if he can prove that... Can he prove that objective morality exists in any relevant way?
I'll be interested to find out, too, when I tell him it's his turn to talk again, since we're doing that. I'm taking a look at this car right now. I got to tell you, it's pretty. I like the color.
Oh, the one I sent you?
Yeah, it looks safe. I can't do a sedan anymore, especially after that truck accident. I'm literally like, if I was in a sedan, I'd be dead. My partner drives a sedan, and right now, every time she leaves, I feel like I'm saying goodbye forever. We're definitely going to be. But
this isn't a sedan.
Changing that. No, I know. And so I'm saying this I like because I feel like it seems safe for you.
And I can do, I've got it basically, not this one, but I found another one, same year, just it's white. And with like 10,000 more miles, where my it'll be about $650 will be my monthly payment.
Nice.
Which isn't bad.
Oh, USB-C ports in the back. Those are nice. Ooh. Oh, I love a lot of buttons on the steering wheel. It's got that big.
And I like the
display.
big. Yeah. That's kind of the big thing that's kicking it for me. It's the center console.
That thing's nice. Oh, and it's got the good type of backup cam. All right, it's your turn, CJ. CJ, if you can just prove to us that objective morality exists without appealing to vibes or just being proofful. Be proofful. Go ahead, CJ.
So I want to clarify something, and it's the difference between grounding and justification. And I think you're confusing the two. Grounding is ontological. And justification is epistemological.
Okay.
And so I think you have an issue with my justification.
So would you like to ground or justify that objective morality exists?
can you define, when you say grounding, can you define that word
no, I sure
for me
can't.
so that I know
sure
what
can't.
you mean?
I sure can't, because you keep telling me all the things I misunderstand. So clearly your understanding will be superior. So would you like to ground your position that objective morality exists, or justify, because you're describing that these are two different things, or justify that objective morality exists?
Well,
I do want to point out, me and Jimmy have had it. Wait, I just want to point out, we've had it correct. When I tell you I want you to ground this, I want you to prove that it exists. That's what I want you to do.
So you want evidence?
Yeah, I don't care that you believe it. I don't care about your belief. No, grounding is talking about existence. Justification is talking about beliefs.
Yeah, so grounding is,
I don't care if it's I don't care if you think it's rational to believe in. Wait, no, I don't care that you think justification is epistemic. We've already talked about this. I don't care if you believe, like, right, if you believe your beliefs are that objective morality exists and you have reason, you can like justify those beliefs. No, if you're going to tell me that God exists and the key crux of this is that objective morality exists, you need to prove that it exists independent of a mind. You need to prove that, which I don't think you can.
Right.
And I think you desperately don't want to, because this is why you are now resorting to such pedantry.
So I would then ground it in laws of logic. And I would say that there is a logical, and you would certainly agree to this, right? That there is a logical flow and order to the way that the world functions.
You ever seen a duck's penis?
Yeah, they're fucking
Look at a duck's penis and tell me something logical made that.
So would you reject that there are laws of logic which govern the world?
That there are prescriptive laws of logic that govern the world? Absolutely. Because let's not pretend you aren't trying to load that term in there without saying it. 100%.
Yeah.
I would
agree with Jim. The laws of logic are definitely descriptive, not prescriptive.
Yeah. So now you want to go ahead and defend your position that objective morality exists? Because you're really trying to skirt around it.
Could you flesh out the descriptive versus prescriptive for me and what you mean by that?
No, sure can't. Because you are still avoiding the last 10 things we've tried to get you to explain by being terribly pedantic. So you go ahead and give us why. Defend your proposition that objective morality exists, and then I'll think about telling you the difference between prescriptive and descriptive, even though it's very obvious.
So I'm trying to find a way. Right now I'm trying to find common ground for the non-negotiable fact, so that I can ground why, so that I can ground my mates.
Oh my God! I think the Lord does exist because you.
Oh man, he cut out. Well, I thought it was just a pause.
So
it's Satan, actually.
Fucking Satan.
If you're going to reject objective morality as the non-negotiable fact, then it's a waste of time for me to continue grounding it.
Because you can't.
Because you can't. You can't do it.
Why would I accept something that you've not ground? Why would I accept a non-negotiable fact that you have yet to ground?
CJ, you will accept for the remainder of argument that my penis is magic, correct?
No, right. And so
why not?
That can't be the non-negotiable fact.
Why not? Okay, but I would like you to accept that my penis is magic. Do I need to do more steps, or do you now? Because it seemed earlier when you were insisting that you would like us to accept your premises, that you felt we should do it unless we could counter your premise and explain to you why it's wrong instead of you explaining to us why it's right. So I'm going to need, if you're going to not allow me, using your same methodology of argument, if you're not going to allow me to proceed where we all accept that my penis is magic, I'm going to need you to present your robust proofs that it is not magic instead of presenting grounding or justification that it is in fact magic.
Yeah, okay. So, do you want me to go laws of logic or objective morality? Because
as long as you're talking about my penis, I don't care.
And this is what I'm saying, where I think you're filibustering because you don't want me to, like, you just don't want me to actually present an argument.
Can you do me a favor? What define objective morality for me?
That's what I want him to describe filibustering.
Objective morality is moral. It's moral realities that. I mean, it's objective moral realities. It's capital T truth. It's the
I'm sorry. That, objective morality is objective moral realities.
Yeah,
magic penis. Can I tell you the definition of my magic penis? It's an undeniable penis that's magic.
Can I finish the sentence?
Is it going to continue to use the words you're defining in the definition?
No. So it is that rational agents ought to act a particular way insofar as it pertains to capital T truth. So it would be a grounded example of that would be, or I'm not going to use the word grounded, an actionable example of that would be that it is wrong for one rational agent to rape another every single time, no matter what. It's never a gray area. It's never okay sometimes.
I just want to, CJ, I want to point out that you gave quite possibly the worst definition of objective morality I've ever heard.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
That's okay. Would you like to give me a better definition?
Yes. Morality independent of a mind.
Yeah, that's the textbook definition.
I wonder why.
That's a better definition.
Yeah.
So I know. Because yours isn't actually saying anything about whether morality is or is not objective.
Yeah, that's fair. I got flustered and
it was vibe based.
Answer.
Literally earlier I said no vibe based arguments.
Yeah, I got
so
when I gave a bad answer.
When me and Jimmy sit here and we say, hey, prove objective morality, you need to prove that morality exists independent of a mind, which if you believe morality comes from God, you can't do, because God would be the mind.
No, so
unless you make morality actually a more arbitrary thing, and you change the definition of morality, and objective morality isn't just morality independent of a mind. It's like morality independent of a natural mind that adheres to the rules without justification that are handed down by the objective source, which is God. That's basically what Christian morality actually is, and even the Phil bros should understand why it falls apart at so many levels.
Yeah. So what I would say is that it doesn't exist.
Just say it.
Mind or a supreme mind. Okay. What I'm saying is that it doesn't exist separately of a supreme mind. That it exists separately of a mind. So much like mathematics, if humans don't exist, is 2 + 2 still 4?
So it's super objective morality. It's like super AIDS or the super devil.
I like how 2 + 2 = 4 have 0 oughts. And he thinks this is comparable.
Let me ask you a question about that. Wait, I want to ask you a question about that. Huh. Does objective morality in your worldview change?
No. Then it's not objective.
Then you are a Christian?
Yeah.
You don't believe in objective morality?
Yeah, earlier you gave the example that raping is always wrong. The Bible literally possesses instructions to rape.
I don't think it does. We can go to the passage in Deuteronomy or Leviticus, and we can break it down if you want, but it doesn't.
I mean, we can make it.
It's one of those things like being pro-choice, where it's like people who are pro-life and are men the moment they have a uterus would be like, you know what? I just realized that I was completely wrong about everything, but the wall I put up. It literally says in the Bible to take these, after you've killed the family of these girls, take them in, give them a tiny amount of time to mourn, rape them. And if they don't make you happy when you rape them, you're allowed to let them go. And it describes them as, but you can't, what is it you're not allowed to do to them? There's one thing you're not allowed to do them when you let them go, and it describes because you've humiliated them. But anyway, it's not rape. What? It's God's perfect law for love.
I would even like, separate of that, you can also take the fact that the Bible literally says like, hey guys, it's chill if you own another human being and beat the shit out of them. That's fine with us.
What is the rape verse that you're talking about? Do you know?
What are you asking?
Can I fact check that? Can I ask for a citation?
Wait. Which version of the Bible do you use?
I'm cool with whatever version you want to use.
No, we're not doing that, because if we use a different one, you can then go, oh, I don't like that translation. So which one? So you are going to pick.
We can go with the ESV.
We can go, or that's your pick? I'm pulling up the Bible right now. I'm going to read it to you.
Yeah, that's my pick.
Okay. We're going to be reading the Bible together, everybody. I'm stoked. I can't even remember.
We need a theme song.
You said you're a Catholic and you're going ESV?
Eat out your Bibles.
Orthodox.
Open your Bibles.
Open your Bible.
Everyone get ready for Bible study.
Are Catholics going to, I assume you know I'm going to Deuteronomy 21.
Yeah.
ESV,
I think you mean 22.
I'm changing. And yet I'm going to 21. ESV.
and yet I'm going to 21 is funny.
All right, everybody. Let's read the Bible.
Let's read our Bibles.
When you go to war against your enemies, and the Lord your God gives them into your hand, and you take them captive, and you see among the captives a beautiful woman, and you desire to take her to be your wife, and then the next verse is, and she desires you in return. No, I'm just kidding. That's not in there. And you bring her home to your house. She shall shave her head and pare her nails, and she shall take off the clothes in which she was captured, and shall remain in your house, and lament her father and her mother a full month. After that, you may go into her and be her husband, and she shall be your wife. That is the fucking, just so everybody knows. That's what the context of be your husband meant Old Testament days. But if you no longer delight in her, you shall let her go where she wants, but you shall not sell her for money, nor shall you treat her as a slave, since you have humiliated her. So if merely you don't put your penis inside of her, you actually can still sell her as a slave. So this is not a consenting person. This is a person who is your wife because she is your property. If you choose not to penis her, she's a slave and you can sell her. But you can't if you penis her because of the humiliation, meaning that her future master wouldn't be able to marry her because they don't treat virgins well in this biblical society. That's why if you take the virginity of a woman who is if you rape a woman, as it also says it's a couple chapters before, if you rape a woman who is promised to another man, you're in trouble. But if you rape a woman who's not promised to another man, you can just buy her, your rape victim, from her husband, and she becomes your wife. Anyway, you were telling me how the Bible does not contain that you can rape a woman
that's
and
not
get rid of her if you don't like her anymore.
That's right. So that's not instruction to rape.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I'm sorry. What part of this woman, when did we describe a woman in any of those 5 verses who was possibly consenting? Could a person if I murder your entire family and you are gay, which I don't know if you are or not, but CJ, if I murder your entire family, hang on. If I murder your entire family and I take you as prisoner for a month, at the end of that month, even if you have Stockholm syndrome or you think you love me and want to fuck me, is it possible, CJ, for you to consent to the sex I then do to you? And were you still consenting if I didn't delight in you and decide to send you off to live in solitude in a society that murdered your family and will reject you and now recognize you as a humiliated individual incapable of being married because you are humiliated. Explain to me how we can turn any of those words into a consenting female captive.
Right. So that passage is it's not talking about murder, because murder violates earlier laws. And so what it's specifically talking about is war.
Oh yeah, it's not murder. So it's not murder if God tells you to do it. That's right. I forgot.
Okay. Fine, CJ, change the example I gave. I don't murder your entire family. I kill your entire family in a war because we have different beliefs, you and I. And I, with my belief system, which is different than your belief system, take you as a prisoner, and then I fuck you after I only give you 1 month to mourn them. Is it possible that in that month you can become a consenting individual in that sexual arrangement?
Maybe.
Oh my fucking God. Nothing hates like Christian love.
Hey, wait, real quick. Yo, real quick. CJ. Wait, real quick. Who's the bad guy in Obsession?
I haven't seen Obsession, to be honest. I haven't seen it yet. I think the guy's the bad guy, though, right? Doesn't he create a girl that ends up being driven crazy because of his bad wish? Doesn't that make him the villain?
Driven crazy or rape? If you're forced to have sex with someone you don't want to, what do you call that?
Rape. That's not non-consensual sex is rape.
If you come, let's say I go to your house and I slaughter your family and I take you as my child bride and sleep with you, what would you call that?
I would call that rape, like like what Muhammad did to Aisha. But what the difference
or what Moses and all the Israelites did to the Midianite virgin children?
Yeah, why go to a different book? We just gave you an example of it.
No, because I'm agreeing with you. I'm showing.
How about like what God did to Mary? Could Mary have consented to impregnation?
Wait, let's just take it to something. Let's forget Deuteronomy.
Wait. Sorry. I have to, Jovan. He just said, now we're so outside the scope of Deuteronomy after trying to go to Islam, but wouldn't let me go to Matthew. You tried to jump religions, and that wasn't too far. I stayed in your fucking book, and that was too far? The fucking wind is redacted here today.
Let's do this. This will be so much easier. Let's just take a Bible verse that has zero ambiguity, okay? Zero ambiguity whatsoever, because clearly you think there's ambiguity in the way that it's describing this. Let's just take something with zero ambiguity. CJ, do you think it is morally right to own another human being as property and beat them within an inch of their life?
It depends on the situation, honestly.
It does?
And it depends on what you mean by own.
It does
yes,
depend?
It depends on what you mean. It depends on what you mean by own.
What I mean by own is exactly what I said. I said own as property, so there's no confusion in what I mean. Is it okay to own another human being as property?
Servant?
As property. I said it. Chattel literally just means property.
Literally just give it to him. Just give him that. Give him indentured servant. Even though he's dumb and doesn't understand, that's still slavery. Is it moral to beat an indentured servant within an inch of their life?
So in the context of the verse that you're referring to, again, we're talking about war. And what's happening
No, we're not.
No, we're not.
No, we aren't.
No, we are not. Indentured servants. Are we allowed to beat an indentured servant within an inch of their life?
It depends.
Does it? There are times where where it's like, do we continue on? Do we keep defending? Do we keep arguing because it's so obvious? Or do we just let it sit and go like, hey guys?
Let's go to
No. I wasn't done talking. Once again pointing out, hey, yeah, you just got an answer out. And all we've let it happen so far is just let it sit and stew. We're just letting the fact that you just said with your whole chest, and this I'm going to mute you because I know you're not going to be able to resist talking over me again. Sometimes it's okay to beat a person within the inch of their life. Now, we can argue about that. Or we can just say, guys, how about the person who's here saying God exists because of his objective morality says that objective morality states that at times it is acceptable to beat your indentured servant if we grant him indentured servant, not even slave, indentured servant, within an inch of their life. Now, I am curious, Jovan, do you know why did God keep using the word slave if he meant indentured servant? Why would he let it be so murky?
I don't know why. I don't know why he would specifically say property. But I just want to posit something, Jimmy. It's not sometimes. It's always.
Right.
It's morally okay to beat your indentured servant within an inch of their life. It is always justified according to the Bible. I want to make sure we're very clear about this. It is quite literally always justified, no matter the reason.
By the way, not even just slaves. Alcoholics. You're allowed to kill in Deuteronomy 21, that same chapter we were in. You're allowed to stone alcoholics. Like,
can we just address the misinformation that they were indentured servants? Because I hate that. As somebody whose people were property, I really hate when people go, well, those were indentured servants, because that tells me that this person has never read his book.
For me, one of the things that the reason why I don't get as upset is because I then like to make them describe indentured servitude, because it is slavery. Indentured servitude isn't not slavery. And so while they're wrong about the quality of the slavery each and every time, and they are wrong that they were being treated that way, it doesn't become better when you describe indentured servitude. Capitalism is slavery. You think indentured servitude fucking intimidates me? Anyway, here is the phrase. When a man strikes his slave, male or female, with a rod, and the slave dies under his hand, he shall be avenged. But if the slave survives a day or two, he is not to be avenged, for the slave is his money, not property in the ESV. It is his money. We've actually lowered the human from property, which, you know, in a capitalist society, we agree property has rights, to now capital. They're actually even less than property in the ESV. So let's go ahead and bring our bromigo back on. CJ, where can we find the instructions that it is in fact not the case, or where it is in fact you aren't always allowed to beat them? Because this only just describes when they beat, not the terms under which, not the reason they beat, simply if you beat your slave, male or female, even the girl slaves, even the ladies, with a rod, and the slave dies under his hand, then that's a problem. But if the slave survives a day or two, he is not to be avenged, for the slave is his money. Also interesting, because this also implies that if he survives for 3 days and dies, still no problem. So I'm going to need you to explain to me where your assertion was that it isn't always okay, that there would be they don't have carte blanche beating their slaves in this.
Right. So the circumstance where it's not okay is if it causes any kind of damage. And in that case, the slave is allowed to go free and has to be compensated.
Go ahead and point us to the verse. Go ahead and point us to the verse that connects this beating, which says survives a day or two. Adding two, as in this guy takes time to recover. You beat him so savagely and got back up. For the slave is his money. You go ahead and show us where that is connected to what you just stated.
Yeah, it's
we got
in the
verses.
same chapter in Exodus 21. If my memory is correct, it's verse 26 and 27, where it describes if the owner does any kind of permanent damage to the slave, they have to be
when a man strikes the eye of his slave, male or female, and destroys it, he shall let the slave go because of his eye. If he knocks out the tooth of his slave, male or female, he shall let the slave go free because of his tooth. So what if he causes kidney damage? Where do we find that hidden issues? Like kidney
Also,
damage
the
that you
other thing we're
actually
forgetting-
survive and get back up out of.
The other thing we're forgetting is the whole thing that he's not allowed to punch them. He is allowed to beat them with a rod.
Right.
This is if he strikes them, if he hits them, not if he beats them with a rod, which is what it says you're allowed to do. Is
With
beat
a
them with a
rod
rod within an inch of their life.
Yep.
And fun fact,
Right.
fun
so
fact,
it's in the
you're
same
only
context
punished
of
if
the
they
same-
die within the first 1 or 2 days. If they die on
Day
the
3,
third day, you're also
good.
not punished. You're good.
You're
The Lord
sitting
said
there
that's
playing
okay.
Majora's Mask. Oh, fuck. I made it to dawn of the third day. Whew. I'm safe.
So it's actually in that passage, it's strictly forbidden for masters to kill their servants or their slaves.
No, it isn't. It's forbidden to kill them instantly. If the slave survives a day or two, not to be avenged because he is his money. Very specific.
Yeah.
Day or two. If the slave only survives for 3 days and then dies, there is no avenging. Day or two.
Yeah, and certainly in that kind of case, right? There wouldn't be any kind of visible permanent damage.
This guy's trying to get pedantic about whether or not there was death. It doesn't say permanent damage. It says specifically eye or teeth. So the rod's going to your body. And now you're adding the word external. So let's move the goalpost again. External. So by adding the word external, are you conceding that internal damage is acceptable as long as it does not kill you within 48 hours?
No, I'm not, but they didn't have MRI.
Okay.
And but no, listen, let me finish.
So you're full of shit. By the way, external damage, why is it not including losing fingers? Why is it not including, I don't care that you're still talking.
I'm still talking.
Why does it not?
You're doing this.
Okay, now you're muted while saying, I'm still talking. Once again, we host the show. We get to interrupt you when you try this dishonest bullshit. You want to now, as you accuse other people of filibuster, hope that you can just say a string of words that are roughly theistically adjacent and hope that on the other side you can come out and maybe throw out a keyword we'll argue instead. All that is established about permanent damage here is permanent damage to losing an eye or teeth. Permanent scars from being beaten with a rod? Ain't nothing about permanent scars. Having your hands broken, having your arms broken, having your legs broken? Nothing about that shit. Specifically, eyes and teeth, and that's it.
Jimmy, I gotta use the bathroom.
Well, I don't know if I'm going to let him off before you get back. If he knocks out the tooth of his slave, male or female, and this is the guy, CJ literally said it prohibits external permanent damage. No, as we just said, all the lashing, all the marks from being, all the scars from being beaten, having your hands jacked up, all that shit, none of that gets you freed. And once again, indentured servant, but this is your way out. If I take your eye, you're free. It's just indentured servitude. And the remedy for just indentured servitude, for you losing your fucking eye, would be simply to be let free. That definitely sounds like just plain Jane, good old indentured servitude. CJ, there is no hate like Christian love. You're back on the air.
So the idea of there being like an incubation period, it covers internal damage as well. So you're not taking off limbs with the kind of rod that they're talking about, or the kind of staff that they're talking about.
I never said taking off limbs. I said breaking them.
Okay, you're not, the odds of you doing, I mean, you're certainly not strong enough to do that.
I'm sorry.
And so,
there's literally a law because they're worried that people are strong enough with the rods to kill the slave they're beating. But you think that it would take more and be unlikely that a resulting break, fracture, scarring, concussions,
right. And so it's
internal damage, the fucking, imagine being this. Again, not self-aware. All I know is I am defending God's words, even though God's words are fucking atrocious. And just to sit and literally listen to a Christian defend these verses is crazy.
So it's what it is it's prescription against adverse punishment or extreme damage.
Nope, it isn't. And you are incorrect.
No, that's certainly what it is, because
no other culture it's literally
in the area
only about eyes like and teeth. It's only about eyes and teeth. And there are so many more things than eyes and teeth.
This section of scripture is, and again, you cannot find mere images or mere textual examples like this in other cultures at the time. And so what it's doing is it's taking a countercultural, counter-economic,
Your argument is God was marginally, God, the all-knower, perfect moral being who gave us a perfect book and is just the perfect book with the perfect love of the universe. Your assertion is that they were barely outperforming similar written texts of the same time about slavery.
No, that's
I'm
not
very
the
impressed.
assertion I'm making. That's a mischaracterization, an intentional mischaracterization of what I'm saying.
Okay, then I'm going to need you to lay out I'm going to need you to repeat what you said and lay out how that is not an accurate summary of what you just said. Why would you bring up that this was better than other books of the time?
Yeah, I need to have like an interrupted part of speech so I can finish my thoughts before you intentionally.
Cool. Are you going to actually engage the thought you were just asked to engage?
If you don't interrupt me, yeah.
And how long is that going to take?
Not super long. I'm definitely going to go shorter than you do.
Give me a timer. Give me a time. How much time is it going to take?
Give me 90 seconds uninterrupted, and I'll probably go shorter.
90 seconds uninterrupted, and you are promising that you will address what I asked, right?
No, what I'm saying is I'll finish the fullness of the point that I was making.
No, then fuck no. No. Fuck no. Fuck. You're going to address what I asked or nothing at all. Fuck off.
So you don't want me to finish my points, and this is what I'm saying.
Yes, correct. You are not allowed to finish. I'm muting you again. You're not allowed to finish another point when you came onto my show and just accused me of being dishonest. So now the whole show stops until you justify what you were saying about me and my character. Because for all I know, you're going to say your fucking dumbass bullshit points further defending slavery and then just try to leave the dishonest accusation hanging. So you are quite correct. You do not get to finish the other point at this time until we get past you justifying your assertion of my character. You are now unmuted again. Is that what we're going to do, or are we moving the fuck on?
So I would like to finish the original point that I was making.
No, I already told you no. I already told you no. And I already told you no, that as soon as you made an accusation, Nope, I'm muting you again. If you wanted to finish that point, you wouldn't have, before making that point, made an accusation at me. So you weren't that interested in finishing that point when the opportunity to accuse me of something was present. So if it was so important to accuse me of dishonesty before finishing your point, then it will remain important to justify that accusation before finishing your point. So we'll unmute you again and see, are you going to justify that assertion, or are you going to fuck all the way off?
Yeah, would you want me to ground it or justify it?
Goodbye.
Brother.
I mean, at that point, what fucking absolute dumb shit. It was all, by the way, it was already shared which one he should do. The guy I think might be professionally insufferable. CJ, it's not the girls. The women aren't why you can't get a second date. The women aren't why you can't get married. The women aren't why your dick is so dry.
It's been a while since I heard somebody like legitimately try to bring up Kant in a debate.
I know. What a fucking conthead. What an absolute Kant. If you're going to whine about not being allowed, I want to finish my other point first, then why did you make, before finishing that point, why did you throw out something you didn't want to justify then? What a Kant. 336-543-2101. If you feel like you can defend Christianity or MAGA, there's a little bit of time left. You still have time to do so. The phone number is there. We did have, unfortunately, we lost, I think, 2 people who were on hold during CJ's insufferable nonsense. True. If you're gonna fill, bro, learn how at least to fill, bro. Goodness sakes. It was like he listened to somebody who Phil broed and just wanted to cosplay that person, but was like, no, I'm not going to learn how he got to know how to Phil bro like that. I'm just going to go and say phrases and words.
Words and phrases and things and things.
words and stuff and phrases. I did it, Dad.
We are Charlie, Dad. We fine. Guys, don't you want me and Jimmy to do some gaming streams together?
That does sound fun. CJ, if CJ does end up having a wife, he's going to get her pregnant immediately to try and use that as leverage to keep her in the relationship. She's going to realize very quickly.
50 shekels.
50 schmeckles. I'm Mr. Booby Buyer. I'll buy those boobies for 50 schmeckles.
I gotta watch the last new episode.
It's a tempting
current season
offer.
Current season's a banger.
Yeah,
current season is a banger. The show is so back right now, bro.
Good. Yeah, Woken Stoke said, caller one, I'm going back to Jesus right now. Which part was your favorite part? The part where we asked, is it ever okay to beat your slave or beat your indentured servant? And it was like, it depends.
And he's like, yeah, sometimes.
Within an inch of your life, sometimes it is. Sometimes it is. Ryan, get that fucking liberal out of my chat. I said, we are Dean Withers, that fucking liberal twink.
Dean, I've always been like somewhat friendly with Dean. Him not knowing what Abu Ghraib is pissed me off to like a degree that I genuinely don't know how to explain.
I've tried watching some shorts of him. The dude he does too many things that are wrong when the right do it. It's too much vibe shit. It's too much like over expressions of like, oh my God, that's your position. Wow, that's really bad. Oh, that's really bad. I'm like, dude, I know we all have to vamp sometimes as we fill our thing, but Jesus fucking Christ, you're setting the bar too high, and then your actual rebuttal was underwhelming. And at the end of the day, it's just the same old performative liberal. I just want to appear to be doing the right thing. I don't want to actually advocate for final solutions is crazy.
Final solutions might be the wildest thing you've said all day.
For solutions that are actually effective, that will remove potentially my buying power in the future and make me equal to everybody else.
I think we should all not know about America's imperialism.
It does make your life less stressful.
Guys, where the callers at? Come on, Christians, you were better than that guy.
Billy the Kid, where's your call back? Don't you have a fight? Weren't we supposed to finish our fight, Billy the Kid?
Oh,
I did dox that business that you called from last time. I doxed them everywhere. And I gave it to the FBI. And I gave it to Russia.
Oh my God, Jimmy is Tim Pool confirmed?
Yeah. Billy the Kid is a enemy of this nation.
Jimmy, what is your favorite 2025 Trump administration moment? There were so you know what, I'll extend it. What was your favorite up to this point? So that's 2025 and 6 months of 2026. What's been your favorite bungling of the Trump administration?
Fuck. My mute button is still funky.
Button.
Since taking office, it's hard not to go with the recent shit of him absolutely bungling the Iran deal and describing a memorandum of understanding as a deal, and then days later the Strait closes again and Lindsey Graham is going on Fox News to say we're probably just going to go ahead and destroy Iran and control the Strait ourselves.
It's the best deal. It's the best deal ever. It's my favorite deal.
You know, he
Everyone
described it as we're
deal.
getting everything we want and giving up nothing before it came out.
I love it too, because it's like, we got jack shit, dog.
We got nothing and gave up everything. Man. Okay, I gotta open my brain in a way that can even remember what happened in the last year and a half, because everything 3 weeks feels like an eternity. And somehow my brain wants to go all the way back to him looking at the eclipse, or him putting the chocolate bar on top of that kid's thing.
I mean, we can take it back to even further. Him drawing the penis on that fucking hurricane map.
the Sharpie moment's a pretty good one. I feel like the algae pool is the perfect metaphor for his entire deal. Him not being able to name any Bible verses more recently when it came up again, where he's just like, it's very, very personal. I just love that Bible so much. He this week tweeted a picture of a woman that he described as an amazing daughter. People then pointed out she's not related to him. So he mistook a woman in the... It literally happened within the last 24 hours. There's a woman in the Oval Office on the couch. He posted a photo of her with the caption, "What a great daughter," and this is a woman not related to him. He thought it was either Ivanka or Tiffany or something.
He's 80. I don't get how everybody like the biggest thing to me, the biggest MAGA brainwash thing to me is the whole he's the most fit, intelligent, like he's 80. I've never met an 80-year-old who was with it. Not a single one.
This is slightly before the time for period, but look, I'm not endorsing everything else that happened at that, but there is something that makes me laugh when I hear the hot mic going, "Let me get my shoes. Let me get my shoes." Do you know that reference?
I don't actually.
In Butler, when the attempt happened and he does the fist pump, there's a hot mic that you can hear, and they basically tell him that the shooter is down, he's safe. This is one of the things that annoy me, because people act like he did it in defiance of the Secret Service. They already had ended the threat and had told him they had done so. And so you hear that, but his shoes had apparently come off. And something makes me laugh about the way before he lets Secret Service carry him off, he begs them to let him put his shoes back on. "Let me get my shoes. Let me get my shoes." Tampons at the RNC is hard not, or maxi pads on the face at the RNC. That's hard not to be a pretty big moment.
The fucking bandage on the absolutely uninjured ear.
But favorite, man, second term. His pump and dump scheme with Trump coin is crazy. The shoes, Trump shoes is second term, isn't it?
No. It's for me, it's the phone. It's Trump repackaging phone. An HTC phone and calling it your Trump mobile. That is, to me,
that one's good.
The epitome of scam.
That one's good. But Trump sneakers was pretty good. Oh man, Trump watch, and then at least one person got one where they didn't put the T on it, so she got a rump watch.
Amazing.
My rump watch. That one's pretty good.
He acts the way when you look at all the stuff he does, it is the way a cartoon billionaire bad guy who's always foiled by the protagonist would act.
Yeah.
And it's crazy to me that this is their guy. This is their champion.
Somebody was mentioning, they said ADD chess, but 4D chess, whenever they say he's playing 3D chess, 4D chess, I would like to see him play 2D chess. And I'm not good at chess, but if you're going to keep saying it, I'm going to need to see him play regular chess.
I want to see him play checkers. I bet he can't even play that.
I think he just throws the board and goes, "King me."
When he plays Connect 4, he tries to do it in 3 moves.
Got him. Yeah. Well, if I point to these 4, I've connected them in my mind. Checkmate. Checkmate. That's what they say in Connect 4. They say checkmate.
In Guess Who?
Quiet Piggy. That was a moment.
Quiet Piggy was crazy.
Quiet Piggy. The number of times he's complained about Caitlin Collins never smiling at him.
Yep.
My dude. I mean, he's stuck in the White House. He's probably not allowed to have affairs anymore because he's so bad at keeping them secret. And
Laura
so
Loomer.
He's getting 0% laid these days and just clearly lonely. And he's like, I'd be a good guy if she would just smile. I'd pass. If Caitlin Collins would just smile at me, I would pass universal health care. If she would just smile. I would make us a socialist utopia.
God, I still want to know what was in those big... I know it was nothing, but I wonder if he wrote anything in those big-ass binders he handed out and was like, "Here's our health plan."
Oh, yeah. Yeah, health plan. We finally released the health plan. Still no one has read it. Melania coin was good. Yeah, Melania coin's good.
Are we gonna? We should do that as a Patreon exclusive. Me and you should Mystery Science Theater, the Melania movie.
What is Mystery Science Theater?
Are you for real?
Why do you seem like you were gonna strike me?
That's
I've heard the phrase. I've never watched. I've never consumed whatever this is.
It was the show where they would watch shitty movies and commentate on it.
Oh, okay. I was thinking maybe they watched it on mute and they filled in the dialogue, which could also be fun.
Sometimes they do.
Oh, Donald.
But I just think it'd be a fun Patreon event where we watch the Melania movie.
Come over here and put your dry lips upon my shriveled nipples. I just imagine she's got shriveled nips.
What if the Melania movie is so good it turned you Republican?
That would be an amazing movie. That would have to be really, really good.
We could also do the J.D. Vance movie. We could do the Trump movie, the Sebastian Stan Trump movie. There's a bunch.
Sure. Oh, that one I actually would love to watch because I just want to watch that anyway. Hey, guys, not everybody consumes everything, and I grew up a Mormon. I'm still catching up on shit. Chill. Fucking chill.
Yeah, me and Jimmy have that friendship where I say, yo, have you ever watched this? And he goes, no.
Yeah, I haven't seen a lot. But I'm ahead of you on the show from. I'm fully in season 2 now.
Yeah, I fell off. And I fell off in like the 4th episode.
I'm having a good time.
Not because it's not good. I genuinely thought it was great. It's really hard for me to watch at shows that are over 20 minutes. My brain
MAGA,
just can't do it.
Where are you? 336-543-2101, 336-543-2101. That's a phone number, 336. Phones are those things that your children are using to not call you. 336
Phones are the things you use to
2101.
scroll Facebook reels because you're too dumb to use Instagram reels. So
no, that's
Facebook
my
reels.
iPad. I was talking to my kids too much and she got me an iPad and that's what I'm looking at that on.
You sound like a character from Smiling Friends.
I do a lot of characters.
Specifically the grandmother of the guy in the very first episode.
Oh, I was trying to do a man.
Well,
That's
to be
my
fair,
iPad.
To be fair, the role's played by man.
I can't figure out how to do a correct Skype. Every time I Skype my kids, they don't answer, so it's got to be broken.
Ask me if I want to come over and drink Mountain Dew and play Burnout Revenge for the PS2.
In that voice or in a different voice?
Yeah, in that voice.
Do you want to come over and play PS2 and drink Mountain Dew?
Close. Close. Wait, I'll show you what I'm referencing.
336-543-2101, 336-543-2101. Y'all, calm down. What year was Mystery Science Theater?
God, 70s?
You know what, guys? Fine. We doing this? I'll fucking do it. I've never seen a Godfather movie. Never seen any of them.
I actually don't like Godfather.
I've never seen 1, 2, or 3. Can I just say that that is hard to believe for multiple reasons, but I don't want to say what one of them is.
Is it that I'm black?
Black people love the Godfather movies.
I like Goodfellas more.
I was just wondering if you wanted to hang out with me and smoke weed and fill our bellies with diet soda and play Burnout Revenge for the PS2.
I was just wondering if you want to come over and play diet soda and touch on dillies. I think I can kind of do it.
I fucking love Smiling Friends. Rest in peace. I missed that show already. It just ended like 2 months ago and I already miss it.
I've never seen any of the Godfather movies. I've never seen Citizen Kane.
Citizen Kane. This is my problem with Citizen Kane. Okay, ready? Hot take from me, the movie snob. I exist in a post Cinema Kane world or Citizen Kane world. So Citizen Kane doesn't do jack shit for me. I exist in a world post Citizen Kane. So I exist in a world where movies were made better.
I'm going to just go through the top 250 on IMDb. Shawshank Redemption, I have never seen it start to finish.
Great movie.
I know.
Oof,
I've seen more parodies of Shawshank than I have seen Shawshank.
Shawshank's a banger.
I've never seen The Godfather. I've never seen 12 Angry Men.
Good movie. 12 Angry Men's good.
Guys, I promise I'm only an anti-Zionist. I am not an anti-Semite. And I say that because I do need to reveal I've never seen Schindler's List.
Schindler's List is tough. It's just so long. Like Schindler's List,
3
you
hours,
really got
15
to
minutes.
fucking
That actually is pretty
it's
long.
fucking long, dude, and it's black and white, and I'm just like, ugh, goddamn.
I think a year ago I would have gotten shit for this, but not now. Never seen Pulp Fiction, but I think people aren't mad about me not seeing Tarantino movies now.
Yeah, Tarantino's a piece of shit. Pulp Fiction is like 2/3 a good movie. There's like whole sections of Pulp Fiction that I think are just fucking dumb.
Bad. I've never seen The Good, Bad, and the Ugly. Billy says A Bronx Tale is a good mob movie that also addresses the racial discrimination
Bronx
of the time
Tale
period.
Banger. Bronx Tale's a banger choice, Billy.
I will. I liked The Irishman. I liked that movie.
Another movie that was too long and I couldn't stand.
I
didn't like looking at de-aged Al Pacino. I was like, this is
I didn't like looking at de-aged Robert De Niro fighting a guy where his body is still moving, like clearly a dying old man. The way he's like stepping on the guy's hand is like.
That was my biggest issue with Captain Marvel. Is Samuel Jackson is supposed to be in his like 20s or 30s, and he's walking like a 70-year-old man.
Yeah, you're moving old. You're moving too old. I have never seen Fight Club.
Oh, banger. It's a banger.
I've never seen Interstellar or Goodfellas.
Goodfellas is great. Interstellar is one of my favorite movies of all time.
Apparently it's number 17 on the top 250. I've never seen One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. I'm just going to list.
Good movie.
Like, I'm going to go through at least the top 50. I'll just list every one I haven't seen. 7, It's a Wonderful Life.
Great.
Saving Private Ryan. Seven Samurai. Green Mile. City of God.
Pause. Green Mile. Of all the movies you've named, Green Mile is my favorite so far. I rewatch Green Mile like once a year. Green Mile made me sob violently. I'm so sad at the end of that fucking movie.
City of God, Life is Beautiful. I've seen that. Kill Bill. Oh, wait, I actually like Spirited Away. That's on there.
I don't think Kill Bill's that good. Spirited Away, phenomenal.
I've never seen Gladiator. The Pianist. Parasite. Grave of the Fireflies.
Parasite's my number one so far. Parasite's is so fucking good.
I've meant to watch that one a bunch of times.
You would like Parasite. You would love Parasite.
I've seen the TV version of Psycho. Harakiri. The Departed. Whiplash.
The Departed. You gotta say it right. The Departed.
American History X. Leon.
Oh, well, okay. One of those is okay that you skip.
Cinema Paradiso. Casablanca. Though I know that Casablanca is like, here's looking at you, kid.
Yeah, but some of these movies I don't think are good. They're only good because people watched them. Like, they were good when they came out. I don't like Casablanca. Who cares? It's 2026. I don't give a fuck about Casablanca.
I wonder if I'm probably more aligned on TV shows. So I have seen Breaking Bad, Planet Earth, Band of Brothers. I've never seen. I have seen Chernobyl.
Band of Brothers is a banger.
I've seen some of The Wire. I need to finish it.
I don't know. I haven't watched Chernobyl, but I've heard it's good.
It's good. Yeah, Chernobyl's good.
You haven't watched The Wire?
I've watched I think I watched the first half, and then this is back when I was poor, and I lost my HBO promo, and then I forgot to pick it back up when I finally got HBO.
Black people love The Wire, man.
They love The Wire. It's something we can bond over, though.
We do. We love The Wire.
I know.
White people really love The Wire.
And
like, black people love The Wire and a fair amount. White people love The Wire.
Guys, little white person life hack. If you're ever hanging out with black people and you don't know what to talk about and you're making it worse trying to figure out what to talk about, and you're like, shit, is it racist? I'm trying this hard. The answer is yes, but also just start talking about The Wire.
You guys seen The Wire?
You know,
what was your least favorite death on The Wire?
I'm rewatching The Wire. What's his face? The guy with the scar across. He died.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. He was great in I think he was in Lovecraft Country, which I think is good for like 4 episodes. But he was phenomenal in it. It's like there's some actors I will watch in almost anything. Like Coleman Domingo now. I'll watch Coleman Domingo in anything he's in. He is consistently handsome. Phenomenal in every movie. He's also very gay, apparently.
So I
love him in You're right. I love him in everything he's been in. I can't think of a single, even if the movie's bad, I can't think of a single time he's been bad.
I think Coleman's husband is white.
Oh, I have no fucking idea. I don't know anything about his personal life. I was just making a joke.
Oh, let me look. Yes. Well, he's white passing. I don't know if that guy's for sure white. He looks Greek, and in My America, is that white? Not My America. Hey, MAGA, we're still waiting for you. 336-543-2101.
I'm enjoying the movie talk.
Honestly, with a mustache, his husband looks like kind of a gay Billy Bob Thornton.
Billy Bob Thornton, in some good stuff, but Landman, have you seen Landman yet?
No.
God, that's such for someone who hates capitalism. I love capitalist shows, like the show about fucking oil drilling, but it's so good, dude.
You know what the saddest thing is? I listed for you a bunch of apparently amazing movies I've never seen, but I have seen Ice Cube's War of the Worlds.
Oh, well, yeah, you have to.
That movie is so bad, but also, isn't it racist in a lot of ways? Because I feel like the movie is made, I feel like it doesn't even want white people to watch, and it expects that black people don't know that that's not how hacking works.
I assume it was made during COVID, and that was why they made the choice for Ice Cube to sit in a fucking room the entire movie. But here's my thing. That is a so bad it's good movie. Right? It's that movie's amazing. That movie is I could watch that movie any day. It's like The Room. I can't look away.
But The Room was done out of a narcissist who has no self-awareness and was just independently terrible. Hollywood made Ice Cube's War of the Worlds.
You think that movie was hot? That movie was not Hollywood, friend.
Dude, what's her face was in it?
You know, I'll be honest. I didn't mind the Tom Cruise War of the Worlds.
Yeah,
I liked that back in the day.
Yeah, that wasn't bad.
But like, I love. So there's two types of movies, right? Bad movies. There's bad movies that are just boring. Like they're bad and boring. So you watch them and it's like a fucking slog. And then there's like Joel Schumacher's Batman.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's bad, but you can't look away.
Yeah.
It's just so entertaining in how bad it is. Ice Cube's War of the World is so entertaining. I watched for the first time last night because YouTube Shorts keeps giving me I'm one of those people. Whatever YouTube Shorts is watching that week, I'm putting on.
Got it. Yeah.
Lars and the Real Girl, that Ryan Gosling movie, phenomenal. I was like, there's no way this movie about him fucking being in love with a plastic sex doll is any good.
Do you know that the newest series of Dexter Resurrection has a high
phenomenal? It's great.
Number 30. It is very
banger,
good,
dude.
You know what made me sad?
A banger.
You know what was better than Resurrection was the prequel. I can't remember what it's called. The prequel was amazing and it got canceled. It was so good and it got canceled.
I just didn't feel like it. Just felt like I was like. I think the beginning of the prequel is good. Like, but as soon as he gets to Miami Metro, I'm like, this is just Dexter. Like I'm watching Dexter, but with people
but it wasn't.
No, but it's with people who are not Dexter.
It was like season 2, season 3 Dexter.
True. It was definitely.
And seeing him struggle and be imperfect is awesome. Like learning the tricks and stuff, and
Resurrection was so. I was shocked how good Resurrection was. Like, because New Blood was rough. So Resurrection, I was like, wow, this is a surprise. And why couldn't this have just been what New Blood was?
I felt so ableist laughing at how few bags it took to bury the one guy. I shouldn't say more than that, but when he came out with just 2 bags.
Jimmy's talking about Peter Dinklage.
When he came out with just 2, don't spoil it. He's going to die.
You haven't watched the show by now.
When he came out with just 2 bags, that made me laugh so hard. I was like, that's not okay, Jimmy. That's so... Oh man.
I want to watch that new for a streaming service as unknown as like Apple Plus, right? Apple TV, Apple Plus.
Oh,
like,
Apple TV's got good stuff.
It consistently puts out hits. This Rooster show apparently is really good. The new Steve Carell show
though. We've been watching it.
I thought it was an Apple one.
Well, we're watching it on HBO. I don't know if it's also on Apple.
I know I watched. Did you ever see that show where Steve Carell plays the therapist and the serial killer like kidnaps him? Amazing show.
Really good. Yeah.
He's one of those. I don't think it's talked about enough how much Steve Carell is like. When's the last bad perform? Could it like Evan Almighty? Is it the last time he was in a bad thing?
I actually feel it is talked about enough, and usually this is the framing. Every time he does an interview, they're like, by the way, how come nobody talks about what a phenomenal actor you are in every genre? But that's every single interview is saying that. And he'll sometimes be like, actually, the last 100 people did mention that. Yeah, he is. It's kind of one of those ones.
Good.
It's kind of like one of those things where like there are people who, because they're so separated from the time period, they'll be like, by the way, you know who's underrated? The Beatles. Like, okay, shut the fuck up. Everybody knows that. Nobody's missing. I actually think
the Beatles is overrated.
Way overrated. So tremendously overrated.
I like the Beatles when they're doing like weird shit. Like Eleanor Rigby, like bangs. Eleanor Rigby's a banger. So I like weird shit Beatles. I don't like I Want to Hold Your Hand. I'm like, this is garbage.
Do you know I can do a perfect impression? Like you will not be able to tell the difference if you close your eyes of 3 of the 4 Beatles.
I would believe it. You're pretty good at voices. I would believe.
You want to see the first one?
I don't know the Beatles' voices enough to where I can.
You'll know. Yeah, you'll know.
Okay.
You'll know. Watch. Okay, here's my first one.
I feel like he's just gonna play on. Oh, he's dead. I get it.
It's actually the same one 3 times.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I figured it out.
Perfect impression. You cannot tell the difference.
I really love the meme of being like, oh, I'm going to do a perfect impression of this person. And then it's just a New York, I'm walking here accent.
Hey, I'm walking here.
It's, to me, that joke never. Hey, it's me, Mario. I'm walking here. Oh, I watched the Super Mario Galaxy movie.
You said it was bad.
2 out of 10.
It is sad.
It is confusing how much that movie has nothing going on for it.
You want my Barney impression? It's not. I haven't worked on it in a while. 1%
Barney the dinosaur
are going to
Barney?
the 400%.
Oh, Bernie. Barney.
We gotta take the millionaires and the billionaires. There's a lot of arms thing you gotta do when you're doing your Bernie impression.
It's leaning Larry David too.
Yeah, it's leaning Larry David doing an impression of Bernie.
Yeah.
Which is very, I don't have any underwear. I got 1 pair of underwear that I dry on the radiator. I loved when he was doing it for SNL. All right, I'm gonna go and grab a drink, and will you solicit calls while I do? Because we're losing.
Yeah, guys, give us a call 336-543-2101. We're here. One of us is queer. I would say get used to it, but like I guess if you hang up, you don't have to get used to it. Call us now on any of these topics. MAGA, Christians, capitalists, conservatives. Like, have you guys just all accepted that you're wrong at this point? Have you all just accepted that you're incorrect about your positions? Because if that's the case, I'm fucking with that. I'm down with that. I'm down with you all just finally accepting, oh shit, we are wrong. I like not being wrong. So it's great to me that you've accepted that you are wrong. Are there any capitalist Christians or conservatives that think they're right? Call in 336-543-2101. Pick up that phone. Pick it up. Pick up the phone. Pick up the phone. I think we need a bigger topic board for this show, officially. I think officially we need a topic board that's bigger. I just can't keep being right all the time. It'd be great if if somebody would prove me wrong. Maybe without some presups, that would be great. You have to believe in God because God exists, so therefore God. Gang, motherfucking gang. We don't really read super chats on this show. I mean, Jimmy could, but like, I don't read super chats from my chat. They would all come from Jimmy Snow in the line.
What?
Jimmy Snow
is there one that somebody's trying to get read?
No idea.
Why are we?
It just said a blanket statement of read super chats.
Oh,
So I don't know if somebody said something in super chats that was interesting, because I haven't been looking at them. Although I should. I've been watching those videos. I think the guy's name's like Steven Shapiro or something, where he'll like tip a small channel like $1, and then if they acknowledge it and say thank you, then he'll send them $1,000. I really got to be acknowledging all of my fucking dollar donos, just in case Big Brother Capitalism's watching.
Bro, the mute button on this thing has become nonsense. Maybe I should just move it to another site, or I don't hit it as much. Send $1 now if you'll send $1,000 after for a thank you.
Thank you.
Do you ever notice that cold chicken, right? Like cold cooked chicken, when you first open it up, like the Ziploc bag with it from the fridge, kind of smells like farts.
I think most Ziploc bags smell like farts.
Yeah.
It would make
I was promised we were going to finish our fight. And I saw him.
Which fight is this? Did I miss a chapter? What is this from?
I think it was about AI. He thinks that I'm wrong about the future impacts of AI.
Oh, I'm going to tell you, having now looked at Claude Code, I don't think Jimmy's wrong in the slightest. I actually might be more gung-ho on this AI conversation.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. I became more radicalized by consuming it.
This shit is going to take over, and we're fucked.
Yeah.
The working class is fucked. Because the jobs that they told everybody to get into, which is programming and coding.
Yeah.
Bye.
And the backup jobs also bye. The backup jobs, this is what drives me crazy when people are calling in like, and they'll get other jobs. I'm like, dude, the backup jobs that software engineers are now doing literally pay 20% of what their software engineering jobs are. And those jobs, the backup vibe economy jobs, are being targeted right now to be replaced by AI. Literally, Uber is like, I gotta stop having all these problems with my guys raping people in the back of the cars. Let's just get rid of the drivers. Let's not protect the women. Let's just get rid of the drivers.
I mean, Amazon's trying to get rid of all their drivers and just have drones.
Yeah.
They want everything. They want all human interaction. Now, listen, there are some jobs I'm okay with human interaction leaving.
Shit,
I'm fine talking to the... what happened?
Quantum said no 1K follow-up from me, though, because he lost his job to AI.
Oh, damn. I'm okay with AI replacing monotonous jobs that, like, I wish we didn't have to do anyway, but not until a system is put into place in which our needs are met. But, like, yeah, I don't need a million McDonald's workers manning the counters. I just don't need that. I don't think it's needed.
By the way, in that world where there's still nurses because you want to have a human to talk to in that scenario, and we're talking about like a communist or socialist framework, it won't just be better for the consumers, it'll be better for the nurses. Imagine how differently nurses will be treated when it's like, hey, you know that I don't have to be here. I'm here because I want to be a nurse, not because I'm required to be. You will have to treat them with respect because you can't leverage their paycheck over their head and treat them like shit. And that's the thing that capitalists are terrified of not having the leverage to treat their workers poorly.
Someone in my chat said, rest in peace to the art of stock image photos. And I got to agree. I use stock images of people to be the callers whenever I make a video and like upload it for my thumbnail. I'm 90% sure that Canva is just spitting me out in their element. I'm pretty sure people are just uploading onto Canva or Shutterstock just AI photos. And half the time you can't tell, right? If you're just looking like I do, which is just very quickly, I'm just like, who's making somewhat of a face that I need them to make. So yeah, stock photos are probably... The trick some
people are doing is like, okay, I'm a photographer. I'm going to go take a few photos of the stock person, and then I'm going to have AI. So the reason why they kind of look somewhere between real and is this person took 5 photos or used 5 photos to generate 100 to submit to a stock site.
Oh, I don't like that.
Yeah. I don't like that for the model either.
That seems real scammy. But I always wonder, because remember, AI is not making up new faces. It's
hey,
just
Greg, why don't you call instead of saying dumb shit in chat?
Greg, are you going to call Greg? Greg! Please, Greg. Me and Jimmy need some callers, Greg. Billy. I think that's one of my favorite running jokes in South Park is that Stan's grandfather calls him Billy.
Where's Billy?
What are we doing, Billy?
Did they ever explain why?
No, he's just old and stupid.
But like,
dude,
who did he know someone named Billy in the past?
If anybody ever wonders, probably. I mean, it's probably most of the characters on that show are based on Trey Parker, right? Or based on his like actual people he knows. His real grandfather probably calls him Billy. If anybody wants to know my sense of justice, watch the episode of South Park where the call center, like the shopping shows, scam old people out of money for jewelry, and Stan just calls the dude and is like, "Kill yourself." That's literally, bro. That's my sense of justice.
I like when he also calls. Was it him or Kyle who calls Garrison when he's president, and Garrison won't do what he wants? So he's like, "You're a little bitch, president." What? Yeah, he was scared little bitch president.
I like the bit because he's like, you would regret saying that if I really did kill myself. He's like, no, I want you to do it.
What?
It's so good. It's so funny.
Well,
man, we really don't have callers today. Y'all really just
MAGA's not calling any of the shows these days.
I mean, if you notice when you were on with me and Jeff, most of the calls are about fucking trans issues. That's all people want to talk about now. They can't defend Trump, so they're back to let's shit on trans people.
Gay and trans are good. Make that the banner.
Gay and trans are trans women are more brave than U.S. soldiers. Make that the background.
It's too long.
It's braver. It's braver to be trans than it is to be a U.S. soldier.
Literally, look, we're already almost at the word limit. It's so hard to keep this banner. I gotta make it size adjustable, but I don't want the words to get too small. Where is the MAGA now? I think they are so scared of us.
Guys, drop us some game suggestions for Jovan and Jimmy's first gaming stream. Coming soon on The Line Gaming.
The number of things this guy commits me to without consult.
You've said you would do gaming streams. This is not
I think we should do it as patron benefits for the podcast.
But then I can't play the games whenever I want.
How often are you thinking we're going to play these games? That was already an issue.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I thought we were friends. My bad. I'm sorry I missed the days where we would get off of fucking stream and go play 7 days to die. My bad, dude. I just like spending time with you. Sorry, bud.
I do a game like that maybe twice a year. I just don't game that much. Like where I get really into it for a couple of weeks and then I get back to work.
Amogus Fugus.
All right, MAGA, where are you at? We got 30 minutes left. Gay people are good. Trans people are good. You guys are full of shit. You guys have problems with all that shit. And that's because you're shit. You are fucking dog shit. Your families don't like you. You're the reason they don't talk to you. And
conservatives are the reason child sexual assault is so high.
Conservatives are the reason why people have come up with so many remedies to black eyes. Black eyes. Because their wives have needed to cover them up for so long.
That's crazy.
Conservatism is necessarily abusive. It necessitates abuse. Yep.
True. Yep. Yes. That one I like. Conservatism requires abuse. That's actually a banger topic.
Yep. Necessitated. You cannot be.
They don't know what necessitated means.
Also, conservatism is anti-American. The founders did not intend to have a unchanging society.
The founders also intended for there to like remain slavery, so I don't know that it's like super far off.
Maybe Though one can argue that some of the people who advocated the most for the things like the conferences were the people who also spoke up against slavery at times and probably saw a future where slavery would go away. They were still dog shit people. I'm not saying they were good, but they did create the mechanism by which we could get rid of it.
Topic. Alexander Hamilton really was a colored man. Argue it in the comments.
His Alexander Hamilton, because he was from
the hit musical Hamilton, yeah.
Right, but his mother was, what was his mother's ethnicity?
White. He was a white immigrant. Yeah.
I thought he was half and half.
No.
Oh.
You thought one of the founding fathers was part black?
I thought that was why he never became president.
No, he never became president because he never became president because he cheated on his wife, and then he wrote a fucking like a fucking 20-page essay about why he did it. By the way, no one knew. No, it wasn't public knowledge until he wrote the essay.
I'm aware of that. I still think they bastardized that he was an immigrant, even if he was white. From the onset.
Yeah, he definitely was an immigrant.
So I kind of doubt he would have gotten to be president anyway.
He was a bastard orphan son of a whore.
Scotsman, dropped in the middle of a forgotten spot in the Caribbean.
I'm not a big fan of the episode of Family Guy where Stu goes to therapy, but I do like the 2 minutes of him rapping Hamilton, and then he starts crying and throwing.
I'm really good.
Makes me laugh.
Do you want to see me do Hamilton?
I want to be on Broadway and be applauded 8 nights a week.
How does a Scotsman, son of a whore and a... Oh, wait. How does a bastard, orphan, son of a whore and a Scotsman dropped in the middle of a
You gotta add the
spot.
hiccups. You gotta add him like when he starts hiccuping.
In the middle of the Caribbean, by providence impoverished in squalor, grow up to be a hero and a scholar.
That shit makes me laugh. Here we go. Topic: Juneteenth is more important than the 4th of July. Go.
I like that.
Pride is more important than Veterans Month. Go.
Hell yeah.
You know what? Topic for next show. America should end.
America runs its military as a cult.
I'm real upset that I am not on the White House's leftist influencer list.
Not yet.
I just want to point out there's only like 3 people on there. It's just David Pakman and Brian Tyler Cohen. Like that's it. There's
Guys,
nobody else on that
button
list.
To get us on the White House terror watch. Hit subscribe.
True. If you want me
bell.
to be on the White House's leftist influencer terror list, you got to hit subscribe to Jimmy Snow on the Line.
Hit that subscribe, please. Patreon.com/call the line if you want to keep our reputation of being sponsor free. Also, America doesn't have the right to exist. I'd take that one.
I like that one. I like when people ask me the question like, does Israel have a right to exist? I'm like, no country has a right to exist.
Literally, obviously not.
They keep their existence via force. Like that's not a right. Like they just enforce their existence via fucking imperialism.
There's also just no such thing as having a right to exist. Even the rights we have surrounding it is like you have a right to not be killed, but it's not like you have a right to not die. We let Americans die all the time, and we definitely don't enforce a right not to die because we let all kinds of people and all kinds of states kill their own people. Fucking Utah and their goddamn pollution problems. And then they're like, you know what we need is a huge data center.
Topic: the way we celebrate 4th of July is very mid. Yeah, 4th of July should be celebrated via protest. There's nothing more American than protesting something.
How do we still incorporate fireworks into the protest, though? Because I do like fireworks. It might be very basic of me.
I'll be honest, and you're going to be mad I bring this up, but having witnessed Disney's fireworks, all other fireworks kind of suck.
They're inferior.
They're very inferior.
I really liked some of the ones I got to see back in New Orleans where they were like, we got this shit from Mexico. These are not fireworks stand fireworks. These are somebody, we have a military guard here who are what's it called? When they're just like going, they have to sort of walk alongside, where it's like the military is here to make sure we don't turn these fireworks into a weapon. Like liaison, but there's a different word for it.
Did he say this for real? Hold on. So Jeff Bezos was speaking at Viva Tech 2026 in Paris, and he said, and I quote, "If we starve our data infrastructure of cooling resources just to sustain baseline human comfort, we are actively delaying the birth of a superintelligence that could solve all of our resource problems in the first place." This man is Lex Luthor, dude.
And where is Superman? But like, probably we would need Zack Snyder Superman. I'm not trying to send James Gunn Spider-Man to handle Jeff Bezos. Too nice. No. If anything, we need to get Frank Miller to write a new Superman to take care of Jeff Bezos.
Who's the best Superman? Live action. We don't need to get into anime.
Tyler Hoechlin.
I'm fully on the David Cornsweet train. I think that man is exactly what I picture Superman as being.
I feel that means that, because I like him as well, but to me that means you haven't watched Superman and Lois. Because Tyler's hard to beat.
I've watched a lot of Superman and Lois.
Tyler nails what you expect Clark Kent to be like.
I think so does David.
Nah, David's like silly. He's too silly.
There is no such thing as too silly for Superman.
Yes, there is. Because even the cartoon Supermans, there's like if you saw,
I'm a comic purist.
You just couldn't buy David's evil switch. Whereas
most Supermen don't have an evil switch.
Yes, they do, because they have to have.
No, they don't.
First of all, he already had one in the movie. It was Ultraman, and it was unbelievable. And then
Ultraman was not an evil switch for Superman. It's Bizarro.
It was David as an evil Superman, and it immediately took you out because you're literally like, I'm just not buying this.
Calling Ultraman evil is a terrible interpretation of that movie.
Okay, guys, my bad.
It was not supposed to be
evil. Is somebody evil just because Lex Luthor is controlling him? My bad.
No, he did. Ultraman had no agency. We saw that with the second Lex Luthor.
The actor that means he's not evil. You're talking about a philosophical thing, and we're talking about the believable persona as put on by an actor.
Because you wanted the persona to be evil.
In the philosophy,
his persona was like a lost puppy, which I think he did great.
And he won't be Bizarro. If ever he fights an alternate reality version of him, or they've said they're going to do Injustice one day, David will be a terrible Injustice Superman.
I don't think we're not getting Injustice in this iteration of the DC. There's no way.
Why?
I think I would be done. I don't care about Injustice in this iteration. We're so early in. You can't do Injustice without hella establish shit. Look at what happened when they tried to establish Injustice in the third fucking movie. Dog shit. Batman v Superman tried to establish Injustice in the Snyderverse.
What?
That was when Batman had that fucking dream and he was in the place and Superman's evil. Like, that's literally them trying to set up an Injustice world.
That wasn't Injustice world. That was Darkseid Wins world, which is the same one. The Darkseid storyline not only turns Superman evil, it eventually turns Batman evil too.
Well, depending on which Darkseid story you're talking about.
And then Batman somehow was like, his subconscious was also making plans for the day that he broke free and is able to win because he becomes one of Darkseid's horsemen.
I am fully in the camp of, I want Alan Ritchson to play Batman.
Someone's saying the Bezos quote is fake.
Is it?
Yeah.
I just read it on a news site, so it looks like news sites are lying to us now.
Anyway, Tyler's the best. Tyler's the best Superman. He nails the good, like, sweet version and the strong, stern, I've reached the limit of the shit I can take. Now I'm fighting, what's his face?
What's his last name
little
again?
Horny buddy. I think it's pronounced Hoechlin.
How tall
and he's
is
also
he?
just dead ass attractive. Like, he's just a handsome fucking guy.
He's only 6 feet. When I look at him on camera, like in the Superman show, he looks short.
No, he doesn't. What?
He does.
They probably put lift in his boots anyways.
I think he looks small compared to the other people.
The scene where he is
like Lex
being
Luthor
Clark,
is taller than him, and I don't like that.
Watch the scene where he goes and confronts that dude who...
I have. I think that's a good scene. I don't think Tyler's bad at all.
What scene are you... all I said was confronts that dude.
I assume you're talking about the one that pulled the gun on Lois.
That is the scene, yeah.
And then she's like, this isn't a job for Superman. He's like, he's not going. Great scene. I agree with you. Great scene. I don't disagree that Tyler's a great Superman.
I feel like that is like the scene that just makes the only thing that held that show back was budget. Like, Tyler, even the way he'll go from stern to happy and
I will say, as much as I like him, I don't like that show's interpretation of Luthor.
Yeah, that show's interpretation of Luthor was crammed into the final season with barely a thought.
Yeah,
I didn't like that either.
And it's simply because they had already established Lana on Supergirl.
I don't think we're getting any more MAGAs. We've only got 20 minutes. MAGA, if you want your shot, this is it. 336-543-2101.
Call us and tell us who your favorite version of Superman is, but only if you're a MAGA.
Emmanuel Chrissy, or whatever her name is, as Lana. Excellent choice. She was good.
I wasn't a big fan of Supergirl past like the first couple episodes. I thought that show was fucking spooky. Just like I think The Flash after like season 4 might be the worst thing on TV.
I never watched Supergirl, and I have only seen a little bit of The Flash. As far as that extended universe goes, I saw Superman and Lois, and then I also really liked Smallville back in the day.
Smallville was always good. I actually think he was a very good Superman. Well, Clark Kent, I guess he never really was Superman, but I also think he was very good too. And I would have loved to have seen, like, I don't like what the Arrowverse did when they did their Crisis on Infinite Earths, and he's like, I gave up being Superman because I wanted a family. I'm like, you could have done both.
Yeah, that's just not in the character.
There's absolutely no reason why you had to. No, Superman's given up his powers before, but like,
not to have a family. Literally, like, I'm going to give up the ability to keep stopping tragedies and let them happen because I selfishly want a couple of kids.
That's why I fucking hate it. It just gives that moment in the Snyderverse where he lets his dad die. Yeah, where he lets Kevin Costner, who should have been the best Pa Kent ever, die when he could have saved him, and no one would have known because he's Superman and he can move faster than we can see.
Yeah.
It's stupid in every I hate the vocal ilk on the internet are all now Snyder fans who are like, Snyder did this the best. I'm like, you guys are fucking idiots.
Okay, here's what I will say for Snyderverse, though. Regardless of how bad the scripts were, no one has Bruce Wayne harder than Ben Affleck, period.
I think the best that Ben Affleck was, I don't think he's not my favorite Batman. Pattinson, in my opinion, has him leaps and bounds. But
only for script.
But that's where I want to say this. That Affleck showed that he would have been better in that scene in the Flash movie where he's talking about grief and, like, you know, that is the best scene ever put to screen of a Batman, in my opinion. It is the best scene, and I'm so butthurt, but that's why I'm so hyped because the woman who wrote that scene is writing Batman the Brave and the Bold. So I'm lit for that.
Even down to the look, like his chin in a cowl was the best chin in a cowl they've ever had.
His last Batman's fit was so trash. The Batman fit in the Flash was garbage.
His gruff voice. I mean, I liked the standard gray and black though.
But I do think Robert Pattinson has been in the best Batman movie.
All right, so who do you think is the best Lois compared to the comic books? Because if you don't think that's from Superman and Lois, I don't know what to do.
Ooh, she's very fucking good. But I really like Rachel Brosnahan, dude. I really like her as Lois.
You can just
really
like her
as Lois
in Maisel, and you don't have to let
she's
how much
so
you like
different.
her in Maisel.
She's so different in this. Like, it's not even remotely the same character. But I feel like my issue with Superman and Lois, the show, is I didn't get to know these two pre-couple, right? Like they just were in love, and like, you know,
that's because it's about Superman their sons and Lois, as much as it is about them.
I agree with you 100%. But once Superman and Lois are like in love, then they're in love. Like, they're together. There's very few problems until you get. But in like, I loved both scenes with them, like the scene where she is interviewing him as Superman, I think is one of the best scenes of any superhero movie ever, in my opinion.
Nah.
Oh, that scene does everything I needed to do.
I think as journalist goes, Bitsy was the name of the one from Superman and Lois, and I think Bitsy did the best journalist Lois.
To be fair, though, my favorite Superman property is not live action.
So it's the old WB cartoons?
No, it's My Adventures with Superman.
Oh, that's not my favorite at all. I've been watching it.
I love it so much.
It just feels like a total retelling. And I love Jack, but his voice takes me out of it a lot. Where I'm just like, I can hear what a twink the voice actor is. Jack Quaid.
No, it combines Superman with an anime.
We might have one left to go.
It bangs. I'm okay with Superman having like electricity that eeks. I'm okay that they just keep stealing from Dragon Ball Z to make a Superman show. Like, Bizarro in My Adventures with Superman is just Broly, and I fuck with it so hard.
Bizarro was in it? What was Bizarro?
He literally just got introduced in this new season.
If you're talking about episode 1, I don't think that's Bizarro. I think that's Superboy.
His name is B1Z.
Oh, I didn't see that. I assumed it was Superboy.
Literally, his literal name is Bizarro. Is like literally Bizarro. He's called Bizarro in the if you turn on the captions
in the credits
when he speaks, it comes up as Bizarro.
So they gave Bizarro Superboy's origin story.
I mean, most Bizarros, not most, but a lot of Bizarros are just clones. Superboy's Cadmus specifically. And they talk about Cadmus, but Cadmus wasn't the ones who were cloning in this one.
Someone's trying to tell me Jack Quaid is jacked. Get out of here.
He ain't a small chicken.
First of all, you also said he's taller than me. I just looked it up. We're the same height.
Jack Quaid? Did I say Jack Quaid was taller than you? When
did
I say
that? This person in chat.
Oh.
He is not jacked. I'm looking at him with his shirt off. I have those muscles under my fat.
It depends on when you're looking at him.
I literally typed in Jack Quaid muscles to make sure Google gave me the gayest answers.
He was in Hunger Games?
I'd say he's fit. Yeah. He was
Did you see that movie where he didn't have where he like couldn't feel pain?
Yep.
I thought it was okay. I didn't think it was.
I watched the whole thing. The most muscles I've ever seen on Jack Quaid is this fake photo of him on Tyler's body, his head on Tyler Hoechlin's body. And Tyler Hoechlin's only pretty. I mean, Hoechlin was fit, but he never went steroid jacked. But he's definitely very fit. He's very fit and attractive. All right, let's see if this last guy. Jesse, you're on the line with Jimmy and Jovan. How are you?
Hey, can you hear me?
Sure can.
Yeah, I just wanted to talk about the prompt there where it said that gay and trans are good. Can you give me your position on that? And how? And when you say good, like, what do you mean exactly? Like, good for the
a lot
society,
of things, but there's yeah, sure, good for society, good for, but most importantly, that There's certainly nothing wrong with either of them, and supporting them is a positive thing for society to do.
Okay, what metric are you using to determine that it's good?
What are the options for metrics?
I can't do another Phil, bro.
No, I know. That's what I'm asking. Tom, give me an example of options for metrics for evaluating that a group of people are good. What are some options I could choose from?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah.
What? And I'm not a Phil, bro. Like, I don't want to be classified.
You asked
there
what is good.
You're
at 100% a Phil, bro. If you start the conversation with what do you mean by good?
What's your metric? Yeah. So, but just give me some options. What are my options to choose from? When you ask me what is my metric for good, that they are good.
Okay.
Because I just explained what I meant by good, and that apparently did not suffice. So give me examples of something that would suffice.
Okay. Well, if someone says that they are trans, and let's say that they're under the age of, like, they're a minor, right? Because children as young as 12 are getting double mastectomies because they believe they're born in the wrong body.
No, that's not happening.
People are affirming that, and it 100% is happening. It's happening in California. It definitely is.
When you say is sounds like an ongoing thing. What you will at best is be able to find an example somewhere of an individual, and it won't be policy and it won't be an ongoing thing. And so you're saying like this is the default. A 12-year-old can walk into a doctor's office and say, chop off these boobies, doc, and they'll just do it.
No, but they can walk into health clinics and say, I believe I was born in the wrong body. And sometimes that
sounds like the right place to go.
Sometimes it doesn't even have to be an in-person visit. It can just be a phone call, and they'll prescribe them different hormone
like what?
Drugs. And I'm sorry?
Like what kind of hormone drugs?
I have no idea.
Why are we entertaining all of these stuff he's saying that's untrue?
No, I know. You strike me as the type of person who watches Fox News, and when you're not watching Fox News, you're screaming. Because none of these things are typical. It's never this easy, especially for minors. In fact, the pathway to transition for minors usually involving the parents, doctors, and therapists, and making sure that basically it's believable to a psychological expert that is the experience this person is having. And then when it comes to hormonal stuff, which is pretty much the only thing you're going to find as a minor, these people claiming that top surgeries and bottom surgeries are happening to minors are not telling the truth, are generally going to be puberty blockers, which is basically hey, let's take a little more time to figure out if this is the case. We'll pause for a while, evaluate it. And at the end of the day, this is stuff that is medically studied, scientifically studied, and I am more prone to believing the doctors and the scientists who are studying this, what the best treatment and best outcomes for these people are, than, for example, Christians who seem to believe that their God has an opinion on it, despite the fact he didn't bother to mention it anywhere in his book.
I'm not sure why religion's getting brought up into this. But
it was for example.
I'll go back to a couple of points here. Did you notice how I let you talk the entire time and I didn't say a single word and I let you finish?
No. I'm sorry. That isn't what happened. That actually isn't what happened. Only I let you talk. You never let me talk. That's not how the show works. It's my show. So at times I let you talk. It's not the letting doesn't happen in the other way. But no, that's okay. I accept your apology.
That's just semantics. I apologize. I didn't mean to say you let me talk or I let you talk. I didn't interrupt you. How about this?
Okay.
Can we say that? Okay.
Fine.
So anyway, and I don't watch Fox News. I'm not a political person, nor am I a religious person, but I do care about children. And there is a man on YouTube. His name's Billboard Chris, and he carries this thing around his billboard in front of him. It says, "Children cannot consent to puberty blockers," and that is a that is a thing.
That's an incorrect statement.
It 100%, because children don't know what they want to eat for breakfast. They want to change their shoes. They don't know what they want to eat for lunch. And
no, it's an incorrect statement because children don't consent to any medical care. So saying, well, children can't consent. Children also can't consent to chemotherapy, and we still allow them to have it. Children don't consent to medical care; they assent to medical care. So the framing of children can't consent to puberty blockers is just dumb.
In fact, I agree with the general phrase. They can't consent to puberty blockers, which is why I am so glad that there is a scientific and medical process by which they are evaluated, and it is found out by adults capable of making those determinations whether or not puberty blockers are appropriate for them. It is certainly preferable that a doctor make that assessment than a child or than a, for example, clergy member.
Yeah, I totally agree with you there. Like, children should not be allowed to make those types of decisions when it's a lifelong kind of a dedicated. When you said puberty blockers,
right? Their doctors should be helping them make those decisions.
Correct. And like you said earlier, it's meetings with therapists, it's meeting with their parents, and it's meeting with doctors and things like that. But what this does, and like I said, that Billboard Chris guy is way more intelligent and has researched this and done the WPATH, and yeah, he doesn't have time for this. But I just wanted to see, because where I live, man, like there's not a lot of people that can have productive conversations and approach things like this and respect other people's opinion.
I just checked his channel. He has time.
I'm sorry?
I just checked his channel. He has time to call us. In fact, he describes himself as an activist. So if he's right, what would actually be the most beneficial for his activism would be for him to call and debate us, who has a larger platform and actually an audience consisting of the people whose minds he wants to change, rather than arguing with random people on the street and doing like the silly, like, hey, I found a dum-dum here who doesn't actually know the medical terminology and stuff, and I can show that I can basically, I can use sophistry to make them look dumb. It would be extremely advantageous for him to take the time to call us. So you should definitely reach out to him, let him know that we're here.
He doesn't have, what he does is he goes to Parliament and he's gotten things changed, and he's gotten assaulted and many things like that. He's even gotten arrested.
He gets changed. He gets things changed by lying.
No, he's an activist.
That's
he
weird.
says that this is a medical. What do you mean lying?
I mean lying. If you go out and you have a big, or at least being intentionally dishonest. If you go out in public with a billboard that says children cannot consent to gender affirming care, you are being willfully dishonest.
So
I would say somebody being willfully
that's not
dishonest.
Lying or being dishonest, because
that's why I changed it to being willfully dishonest.
What it does is it allows.
Hold on, Jimmy. Hold on, real quick. Can children consent to any medical care? Is that how medical care works?
No.
No. So it's a dishonest framing of the situation. Now, if he wants to say, I don't believe children can assent, no, it's a dishonest framing.
Jesse, does Billboard Chris put up that billboard on his neck because his activism is pointed toward taking puberty blockers away from children who are trans?
Say that again now.
Is the intention of his billboard to use that to start a conversation that hopefully will end with puberty blockers being taken away from children?
Yes, his intentions are that trans is an ideology that has been started in recent years, and that it's a medicinal malpractice for getting these children into. Do you mind if I finish? Is that okay?
No, I don't need all of the rest of it, because I only needed the answer to my question, right? And we only have a couple minutes left. So if his first premise is children cannot consent to puberty blockers, and his conclusion is children shouldn't have access to puberty blockers, there's no middle thing that makes that more of an honest presentation. There's no premise too that then makes that not dishonest, because whether or not a child can consent to puberty blockers does not determine whether or not a child should have access to puberty blockers. It only establishes that a different process should be gone through before giving access.
Right, and he could put something on there, and this is one of his stances, is that if you're a girl and you think you're a boy, or you do things like a boy, like you play football and you get muddy and you want to do those things, but you were born biologically a female, that just means you're a tomboy. And he could put that on his billboard.
But again, this would be him. This would be him poorly framing the argument, because the argument from trans people isn't that they were actually born in the wrong body. That's just a language they use to allow cisgender people to understand what they're going through. Trans people don't actually believe they're born in the wrong body. And I have a feeling, second of all, that this Billboard Chris guy has no source of academic or scientific research that backs up his claims.
Right. Literally, that's a vibes argument.
I promise he doesn't.
I'm going to love to see the science that shows that they did comprehensive studies that determine that, in fact, tomboys exist and trans women don't.
100%. And most of the time they turn out to be gay. They've done a study in Denmark or Norway or some Scandinavian country or something like that.
Again, the Denmark study, the Sweden study, all of those studies, the authors have come out and said that the way that anti-trans people are using them is a dishonest framing of those studies, because the people don't actually read them. Yeah. We can talk about the study where it's like, well, most of these people desist. Yeah, they did when the criteria for gender affirming care was different back when the study was done in like the early 2000s. But the criteria for gender affirming care is different. And the desistance rates have dropped significantly to damn near 1%. Yeah. These are all people that are dishonestly framing the research.
You said there was no medical and no scientific research, but now you're saying that it's
what? No, I didn't. I said there was no. That's not what I said. I said he's not going to be able to provide any research that backs up his claims.
Jesse, there's a tremendous amount of scientific evidence. The example I gave you was that I'm waiting to see the comprehensive scientific evidence that trans women don't exist, but only tomboys do, because these don't. In fact, what's funny is it is actually what you guys are calling gender ideology that tries to create a world in which a person can assess, are they in fact trans or actually just what you would call a tomboy? Gender ideology is, again, what you would call gender ideology allows for a spectrum and can say, hey, you might also be a girl who just likes to do manly stuff sometimes. You might also be gender fluid. This is why the most desistance that does happen comes from merely social transitioning. And that's a low risk place that people can go, you know what? I don't know if this is the thing that I'm going through. So I'm going to try it on. And once you get past the filters of social transition, the amount of desistance after that, as Jovan just pointed out, is extremely low. This
literally 1%.
I think that's where my qualms lie, is where if this whole trans ideology thing, or however you want me to say it, it doesn't really matter to me. Whatever you want me to say, however transgenderism, whatever. It allows children to make.
No, it doesn't.
Okay, transgenderism. It allows children and allows these people to say, okay, at the foundation of their emotional and social development, to say, I want to be something else, out of the norm, unique to what I am, whatever. And then later on,
you can't wait. Even if that were true, you can't prove that causes harm.
Right. What allows children to say?
I'm getting there.
It allows children to say there's something that they may not be.
Are irreversible. Those
only 1% of children. Only 1% of children desist after any sort of medication is given. Only upwards of 3% detransition at all. So I'm sorry that I'm not fucking conflating to the 3% of people that may be like, oh well, this went poorly for me. So that 97% of people can have services that they're happy with.
Right.
The overwhelming people. So we have the medical research on this. I'm saying
transgender
all would be crazy. All would be crazy when I gave you specific numbers.
Yeah, you're purposely being dishonest.
You're saying that 97%. I'm not saying. I'm saying
the detransition rate is 3%
people
on the high end.
Where are you getting those numbers?
Of that 3%, I can give you multiple studies. Go to my link tree. Go to my link tree. We don't have time for me to list every single one of them. Go to my link tree. Go to my source document. There are dozens in there. Just go to the section on detransitioning and regret. Dozens of sources.
Okay, so that's my qualms. It's with children. That 3%, I guess.
But your qualms are you want to deny people for what you think is happening to a very small group of people.
No.
You want a tremendous amount more harm to happen to the rest of them because you are worried about a few examples.
I have expressed my good quotation
What's the harm of not
subjective good.
I'm sorry, are you asking what the harm is of not giving trans affirming care to people who are transgender?
Well, what does it mean? I know this sounds very Philbro and whatever, but when you say, is it the transgender? Is it a social construct?
Wait,
Is it how you feel?
We're
is it all
already
of the
3
above?
minutes over time. If you're not aware, we're going to have to start this back up another day. If you are generally, it's like I'm a person asking about Christianity, acting like I'm here for a debate, and then I just went, and who is Jesus and what's a resurrection?
No, it's not that, man. It's not that.
This is such a
You're just
basic.
saying,
it's such a
how do you
basic thing
hurt
to ask.
someone?
What harm is there in denying people affirming care who are experiencing gender dysphoria?
Sure. Yeah. So what's the harm in that? Is it?
All right.
Why don't they go? Why isn't
when you call back, we'll run over the harm in that and the science. But as I said, we are 4 minutes over time, and to now have to go all the way back to the equivalent of who was Jesus will take far too much time. You'll have to call back next time, Jesse.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. And I appreciate the conversation. I appreciate that.
Jovan and I are back Tuesday or Thursday, sometime this week. Just go look at the thing. We'll figure it out.
Okay. Thanks, man.
All right. Bye, Jesse. It's wild to think that you're ready to debate people on a topic if you can't even anticipate what the most basic responses to their challenges would be. Do you know what I mean? Like, as I've said before, a person can't debate. If you talked, you're muted. A person can't debate unless they can represent the other side. You're not going to be able to debate well unless you could fake being the other side to at least some degree. And for that person to apparently be not prepared for the assertion, not allowing trans people access to trans affirming care is harmful to the trans people, feels like I'm going to have to go like all the way back to like, okay, let's start with,
they care about the 3D transitioners more than they care about the
other 97, because they think if you take care of, apparently would think that if you take care of those 3D transitioners, the other 97% will be fine. They actually will just go on living the life and not transitioning, and then just be like, all right, well, I guess this is who I am. As though dysphoria is like just an itch, and ultimately you could ignore an itch. Just ignore it. It's just itchy. All right. Can you even ignore an itch? That person was a son of an itch. We'll see y'all. That was the show. Bye.
All right, deuces.